Front Stoop, what is popping with you, ladies and gentlemen? I'm glad you guys are here. Got a couple of album reviews we're going to do tonight. We're going to take a look at the Lost Boyz Legacy album. Then we're going to take a look at 38 Spesh got an album out. It's called Ways and Means. Well, it's not just 38 Spesh. It's with a rapper named Rasheed Chappell. The album is pretty tough too, ladies and gentlemen. I think you're going to enjoy that one. Really do. I think you're going to enjoy that one. Without further ado, man, we're going to get this thing started. I got Gamma in the chat. We did have Big Freezy in the chat. Guess he's probably going to come back. We're going to go ahead and get this thing on the move, man, and take a listen to the Lost Boyz. So let's get this popping, man. Got Gammo up here. Gammo, what's popping with you, bro?
Yo, chilling, man.
Here comes Big Freezy. I'm good, man. I'm good. I feel good. Listen, I do want to announce one thing. In a couple of weeks, I am going to have a contest on the show. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have about 3 beats. And I'm going to have rappers who have been on the show, or anybody, not just rappers who've been on the show, but anybody who's been on the show, or anybody who hears it, they'll be able to spit a verse on the beat. I'm going to have like 3 beats. You'll be able to download them. Spit a verse on the beat about the Front Stoop, basically doing an intro for the Front Stoop. And then we're going to bring it back, let everybody listen to them and vote. And whoever wins the vote, that'll be the intro for the Front Stoop. So, looking forward to that. That should be fun. And another thing that I'm doing is I'm creating a playlist of independent artists. So when people submit their music and we review it, I got a bunch of music in the chamber. Independent artists, I got a bunch of music in the chamber. And when people submit their music, we're going to go ahead, we're going to review it. And then you let me know if I should add it to the playlist or not. Right? And if I add it to the playlist, then it'll be put in the playlist. And if that person gets, if they get content ID from, if they get a copyright claim, then they'll get the money. They'll get some of the money from it. So from being in the playlist. So, yeah, that's look forward to that. The whole playlist thing, I'll be doing that soon. The beats, I'm still working on some of the beats and things like that, so that I can put it out there and get some people to, see what they sound like, So, that should be cool. Freezy, what's popping with you, bro? How you feeling?
Hey, what's up, Sam? I'm good, man.
I'm good.
Hey, I'm looking forward to listening to this music.
Yeah, man. Lost Boyz.
Yeah, man.
Look, to my surprise, okay, so they dropped the album in 2019. They dropped 2 albums in 2019. And I did not know that they dropped 2 albums in 2019. Okay, they dropped 2 albums, Lost Boyz, Next Generation. Both of them were called The Next Generation. Okay, and they got Freaky Tah's son with them, Freaky Ka. That's K-A-H. All right. And they dropped the album in was it January? Like January or something like that. All right, so they've dropped 2 albums in 2020 already. Well, I don't want to say albums because this one is an EP. There's only 6 songs on it. Okay. So, we'll see what it is, man. I have listened to it. I will say that. 6 songs, 19 minutes. Every song is over 3 minutes except for one. So just real quick, what are your expectations from the album? Either one. Yeah, I'm on Freezy, it don't matter. What are your expectations?
Yo, man. Not too high, man, because look, Lost Boyz to me, that style back in the 90s, man. Renee Can't Hold Us Down. Me and My Crazy World, man. Like, they don't have that feel anymore because there's a nice synergy between all three, all the guys, Freaky Tah, Speak Nice, I'm forgetting the main guys. My brain is fogged right now, but Mr. Cheeks, what the hell's wrong with my brain? But I just don't see it because I doubt he's gonna go back to that old style, and he might be trying to find some type of lane with like I don't say a new voice, but I don't know, man. You hardly see rappers go back to the formula that worked before. If we get, I don't know. I'm not expecting a lot of things from this album, but I'm open to listen because I got a lot of respect for that group, man. So yeah,
right. And here's the hard thing. This is the tough thing. It's hard not to listen to it with a lens, right?
Right.
Like, how do you listen to it? If you go back and you listen to some of their earlier work, then how do you hear this album without the lens of that music, that we've grown to love over the years? You know what I mean? It's hard, to not listen to it in that lens and say, why are they not doing this? But it's a different time. It's a different age. In 2019, basically, they said this is the next generation of Lost Boyz.
Well, put like this. I mean, there are a bunch of people when you talk about style-wise and sound-wise, right? Like, Joey Badass, for one, is trying to recapture that 90s sound, right? And, you have a bunch of guys, Earl Sweatshirt, Matt Comm. You got a bunch of guys who are trying to recreate that 90s. Now, what's the name? Joey Badass, I think, is the only one that's trying to do that, the smooth kind of style in terms of the beats and the style which he does it. But, if Lost Boyz actually went back to what they were doing before, I'm gonna say doing before, but try to go back to that sound sonically, I mean, it could work because
but here's the thing about Lost, in my opinion, about Lost Boyz. Even back then, they did not. Their sound to me was still very unique from the other sounds that were out there. The boom bap, hip hop, rap, very unique. You know what I'm saying? So like their sound was distinct.
You know what they sounded like? Sorry to cut you off. It was almost like it's like their raps were colloquial, right? Like in regards, like it sounded like a dude always telling you a story from a stoop. Like you go outside and you meet that, you and your boys are hanging out, and that one dude who always got crazy stories comes around, and he's just telling you he could captivate you by just telling you a bunch of crazy stories that happened to him and his friends. That's how it feels like when I listen to old, Lost Boyz and stuff like Renee, all that stuff. It's kind of like they put like this. They're great hood storytellers, if that makes any sense. And they got Freaky Tah hyping up everything. So it's kind of like Freaky Tah and Mr. Cheeks did like a jukes together, and like Mr. Cheeks is kind of recounting it, and then Freaky Tah is kind of like, yeah, yo, like he's putting a little ad-libs and everything that kind of hype up the story, like. And yeah, there are other people who did it, but like you said, they had a very unique style because almost like they were singing tales of like different real life situations. I mean, obviously for people who do jokes and stuff like that. I mean, they weren't violent like that, overly violent, but what I mean? It just, they had a crazy synergy, right? You had EPMD, you had groups where it's like, all right, you could see one dude, he might break off from the other dude. Like they don't have, they're cool, but you could tell one dude might want to. And with Lost Boyz, you never felt as popular as they got. You never felt like Freaky Tah want to go off and do his own thing. Like Mr. Cheeks, want to do anything with the group. You know what I mean?
They were a group that had a lot of. Here's the thing though. Like, and I'm not saying it's the reason why, but when you listen to them, like, they were a group that they all had their roles in the group. So they were not battling for supremacy. Mr. Cheeks was the lead. I don't want to say lead singer, lead rapper, right? He was the lead rapper. Freaky Tah was the background dude. You know what I'm saying? Giving you the ad libs and all of that. So there was not everyone had their role. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get into it. And I know you guys seen some of the scores up there. That was a score from the last time. I had to blank them out. Accidentally put them on the screen, so don't think that it's rigged. And we already got the scores in place. All right, it's not rigged. It's not great. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's listen to the first one. The first one is called Money. All right, and you know, right from the beginning, I like some of the things that he says and his thinking about. I don't want to influence you. I'll let you hear it for yourself. All right, so this first track is called Money. This is off the Lost Boyz Legacy album that just came out not too long ago, man. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Yeah. Whoa. We thought it was like, yo, what's going on with the game, man? I'm popping off too, man. Hey, LB fam in the building. Hey, yo. Yup. They need to liven up. I bang my shit out for 25 and up for all my grown folks who be getting they grown on. Flows crispy, turn my microphone on. The kid feels good, I came through, I three-pieced it. I was laying low, but yo, the beast, they released it. So I had to put it in the rap game, need it. Drink in my hand, your man's getting weeded. Shit, another day, another buck. Pretty lady following me in the truck. Doing what I do, skate through, collect Betty. Rain or sunny, had that money ready. Professional money, that mixtape money. My boys make money, my chicks make money. Make restaurant come and put it in the.
And I tell you right off the top, I mean, obviously you knew this was going to happen, but and you can go back and listen to the works from 2019. You miss hearing Freaky Tar back there, right? I mean, that's, you can notice that right off top.
But I stay cool weather the storm. Violators do them harm, but I never disrespect who put me on. Salute OG. As I sit and roll these trees and reminisce about the freaking RP, the ones deceased, and I'm gone.
Shit, another day, another buck. Pretty lady following me in the truck. Doing what I do, skate through, collect Betty. Rain or sunny, had that money ready. Professional money, that mixtape money. My boys make money, my chicks make money. Make restaurant come and put it in a few cities. I'm a ragu, after I bag a few smitties, I'm gone.
All right, so that's the first track on the album. It's called Money, right? And we listened to, you know, a good portion of the album, of the song, about 60% of the song we just listened to right there. Guillermo, first impression, man.
I don't really care for it. Ricky Ty is one of those dudes where, to me, what I remember best is when he's rapping on like a quicker beat. Again, to me, I think Queen's rappers are the best. I think that when they rap, they challenge the beats a lot, and you know, he was one of those dudes. Like even when he had that song, you know, "Party on the Way on" with Queen Pen. I can't remember the damn title of the song.
Yeah.
But you know, his flow on that song, that's one of my favorite songs from Freaky Ty. That wasn't even his song, and it's like I like it when the rappers challenge.
You mean Mr. Cheeks? You mean Mr. Cheeks?
What'd I say? Sorry, I said Freaky Ty. I'm sorry, Mr. Cheeks. My bad. Rest in peace. But yeah, it's just, you know, a slower beat. You know, there's nothing really poignant to it. The beat was just kind of flat, you know. But you know, it's an opening song, and I guess, you know, I just don't really care. He's not a slow beat rapper to me. You know what I mean? So it just, yeah.
So what do you give it? What's your score?
We give it scores.
Yeah.
My bad. I give it a 6. I still think he's better than that. I give it a 6. And again, these rappers, when they get older, I don't know what it is, man. You know, they ain't 70, 80, man. But when they start, they can't rap as fast anymore. I don't think you have to exercise your body to rap fast. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but maybe you gotta stop smoking weed, or I don't know. It was when we were younger and they were still rapping fast. I don't know what it is, but I'm tired of hearing these older rappers stop with the.
Well, I don't know. I guess
he still does that.
You know, when you get older, a lot of things slow down. You know what I'm saying? Your reaction time, all that kind of stuff. You know, Big Freezy, what do you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I thought it was just vanilla. I thought it was safe. Yeah. I didn't think he took no chances or nothing. I think this is just like a safe joint.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I agree. I like the hook. I do personally. I don't know. I just, you know, kind of like the harmony of the hook. You know, I'm at about a 7 with it. Like I said, it's hard when you know what they've done. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, you can't expect that, but, it makes it hard. So, looking right now, and I'm going to try to tally this up to see what the score is. Now, let me ask you guys a question. So far I've been keeping it to doing, 7, like 7, 7.5, 6.5, 8, in increments of 0.5. Should I just go ahead and give, whatever we tally up, go ahead and give it that score there? Instead of rounding it?
I think you're right. I like the rounding.
Yeah, the rounding sound good to me.
Okay, so I'm seeing 7s, 7.5. Plus a 7, plus a 6. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
M's in my bank account. Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad.
So that gives it right there. 10 people. That gives it like a 6.85.
Okay. All right.
All right. With everybody that's in there, it gives it about a 6.85. What we doing? We rounding it. That's kind of like right in the middle. That's right in the middle between 6.5 and 7.
Right.
6.85. So what are we doing with it?
And in fairness to Westside Gun, I would say just keep the same scoring format because
look at you now.
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. But I'm just saying right here. Are we rounding it up or are we rounding it down?
Nah,
because
round
it's
that
right
down.
in the middle.
Round that down.
6.5.
If it's above this point, it's at 6.5 exactly.
No. So you got 6.5, and then you got 7. 6.85 is right in the middle of 6.5
Right.
and 6.7.
we may as well
and
give
7.
It a 7.
You see what I'm
We
saying?
may as well give it a 7.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's trying to say round it like.
So I guess if it's at 6. It's at 6.85, so I guess that rounds to a 7.
Yeah.
All
All right, round to.
I guess that rounds to a 7, right? Because if it,
Yeah.
that 6.85 it rounds up. Okay, I guess. All right,
tough.
so that's the first track, Money. Next track is called My Brother, and let's go ahead and let's get into it.
Throwing it up. All the L's around the world. You already know how we doing it. Let's get it poppin'. LB fam all day. That's what we make, man.
This is for my brother, this is for my mother. To my LB brother from another mother. We do this for them niggas who ain't got shit. To my LB fam, yeah, we got it. This is for my brother, this is for my mother. To my LB brother from another mother. We do this for them niggas who ain't got shit. To my LB fam, yeah, we got it.
We retaliate for trees. If we ain't have enough cheese, piled up in Mama Blackwell sweat. If it's money we making, we taking that trip. L's up to everyone that I rock with. I handle my business, man. I don't wild shit and dumb shit I'm not with. Homie, I'm wrong if you ain't on that type of shit. Be gone. I make moves with those making moves. Shit, even if it means breaking rules. It may be wrong, but there's some that understand me. One for all for one. LB family. Man,
this is for my brother, this is for my mother. To my LB brother from another mother. We do this for them niggas who ain't got shit. To my LB fam, yeah, we got it. This is for my brother, this is for my mother. To my LB brother from another mother. We do this for them niggas who ain't got shit. To my LB fam, yeah, we got it. Everybody know we got it, so we gotta hold them down. If you got it in your wallet, time to put it to the ground. The grip we bout to bid for all my niggas got cash. We keep it wet for all my niggas in the fam. Man, I went and bought the damn block.
And I think this is Freaky Ka. I think. I'm not sure, but it sounds like it is. All right. I mean, my first impression on it is, when I listened to the beat with this and I listened to the beat on the previous song, it's not the kind of beat that I'm expecting. And I'm not expecting them to have the same beats, from years back. I'm not expecting that. But the sound is I don't know how to explain the sound. Of the music behind it. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, but I was me personally looking for a little bit something different with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? With the sound that I'm hearing. But
I
of
agree,
course,
Sam. I agree. I agree. My expectation was this was going to be something for the Jeeps, and this is something for like.
And you grow up, and so that maybe that's not where your mindset is. Whatever comes out through your music is going to be a lot of times, most times, where you are in life. A lot of times, right? So if you're not. If you're not out there like that doing that, then you're gonna the way your music, your ears is gonna be a little bit different, I think. But
that only pertains really to content, right? Like,
but I think even the music,
it mostly pertains to content, right? You can still have different content, but your style and your lyricism, all that stuff doesn't have to. Your flow. Look, Mr. Cheeks had a definitive flow where it's kind of like. He would talk through the cut, like I don't know what you call it in a beat, but like he would kind of like keep talking through.
But I think,
this sounds like something forced. This sounds like an imitation. Like I don't even know what this sounds like. I'm sorry, this song was whack. I'm not trying to be rude, but
I feel like I feel like even like your mindset even does have a indirect result impact on your flow, right? Because now the music that you're choosing to put behind you is a little bit different, so your flow is going to have to reflect that music too, right? Because you just
why
like
is it that so many guys, these rappers who get older, they all have that same. It changes with the music stuff, but the best ones, the Busta Rhymeses, the Nas's. Nas's flow kind of did slow down a little bit, but he can still go hard at it, right? But the guys who are Styles P can still go hard at it. They don't change this. I mean, the best ones to me, I don't know. It sounds like a cop out when these guys are like, not saying you, so I'm just saying like in general, they change with the time. Well, okay, well then maybe just don't rap anymore because it's like the energy also is really important, right? I'm not saying you have to have this frenetic energy, but when you're rapping to a certain beat, we appreciate some rappers because they challenge a beat. Because it's like, all right, they have this beat. I mean, the beats here aren't really challenging, but you have some rappers that they've challenged even the most simplest sounding beats and made the song hot despite the beat not being great.
I feel you. I feel you.
Like,
but I think that too. I think Freaky Tah's energy is just missing. And if you're not, and I don't want to blame everything on that, but I think
you're 1,000% right.
I think that has a lot to do with it, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, you can hear it through the music. He's got energy. So in the studio, when picking beats, all of that type of stuff is gonna come out. You know what I mean? But anyway, what do you give it, Guillermo?
Right. I gave this a 5. This is whack.
Hey,
so I'll be honest, man. I like Freaky Tahs. I like Lost Boyz. So,
I understand where you and Guillermo coming from. You know what I think it is? It's to me, in my opinion, it's a classic case of the artists getting better technically, but losing their edge. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have that. Like what we talked about Jadakiss's album. Like we're like, what's the edge at to this thing, man? It's not really no.
But Big Freezy, where is it good technically? Where are the parts that are great technically in the 2 songs you heard?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what
listen. No, listen what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm not talking about like the dude's verses. I'm talking about the music itself, like the production and all of that. If we're talking about the verses, I think the verses are vanilla.
They had great production back then too, though. They had good production back then.
But the production nowadays, man, is 1,000 times better. I think maybe music was like the way they produce certain music may have been, or music choices may have been good. But in terms of how it sounds coming through your speakers and stuff, I think there's no.
Well, I don't
There's
think I think that's just equipment we have. Whoa, what the hell? Can you hear me?
So, yeah. Well, Big Freezy, what do you give it, man?
What the hell?
I'm gonna say a 6.5.
Okay.
That's high.
I'm giving
I knew
it
you
a
were gonna say
6.
that. Yeah, I think so too, man.
So,
I think so too.
are you giving it 6.5 or are you giving it a 6? Freezy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 6.5, man.
Okay. I'm giving it a 6.
That's generous.
Yeah, I know, man.
I mean, you gave it a 5. I gave it a 6. That's just 1 point above.
That's
That's, I mean, in the chat, let me see what we got in the chat. So far,
Joe Curry said 0. I just got
so far, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scores in the chat. We got a 6, a 6, a 3, a 6, a 5, a 6.5, and a 6. That's between the people who scored it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Divided by 7. Hold up. Clear that out. That's a 5.5 on the nose. So we had to do no rounding. And David Jackson and Marquise, you guys missed it. They gave it a 6 and a 3. Probably would have rounded out to be the same because this is they equal each other out. So 5.5.
Hey, Guillermo, did you like the dude?
And Mr. Cheeks, if you are listening, Mr. Cheeks, if you're listening, right? Man, hey, this is the voice of the people, man. There's no bias. It's the voice of the people. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. This is the fans talking.
And if you watch Mr. Cheeks, Lost Boyz is one of my favorite groups growing up. So this ain't no hate, man. This is actually, I have to grade like this because I know you 10 times better than this, bro. Right. Me and My Crazy World is still one of my favorite songs, man. All four long ass.
That second dude rapping though. That second dude rapping need to get his skills up.
Some people just not rappers, bro.
I ain't trying to.
You're in your 30s, man, and you're still trying to.
You talk about on this song right here? You talk about on this song, Freezy?
On this song right here.
I really do think that was Freaky Ka. I think that was Freaky Ka's son. I think so.
Right.
They don't have everyone listed. They're considered just Lost Boyz. They don't have everyone listed here on Spotify. So, but I do think it was son.
Right.
All right, because there's only you got Freaky Ka, K. Chris, and Mr. Cheeks. So, all right, the next song is called A-List. Let's get with it.
It's that Christ, Mr. Cheeks. Freaky Ka, what up, man? So we family, man. We just be doing some shit, man, making the world pop. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go.
Line up on the main bitch. I got stacks bought up. I don't chase shit. All night feeling famous. Don't you hit my line? Bitch, I'm made.
Places I've been, faces I've seen. Came a long way and hit me like I'm from Queens. Know what I mean? Man, I do it once I put my mind to it. And I ain't talking, I'ma let my grind do it. Man, I stay crispy, smoke trees and gets tipsy, bitch. But I'm on point and I don't know where you list me, bitch. A nigga on the A-list, but stay on the low. Get the dough after every show. You already know, let's go.
Line up on the main bitch. I got stacks bought up. I don't chase shit. I've been up all night feeling famous. Don't you hit my line? Bitch, I'm famous. Yeah.
I make him scream like yeah, yeah. Take your bitch and make her call me da-da. Open wide, babe, I got that bye-bye. And she'll be with it like Yeah, I'm A-list, you D-list, or C-list, or B-list, LB-list, that's we-list, that G-list, can't see this, and hammer, can't touch this, don't touch that, I like you from that, and you don't want that, so don't hit my line, unless you level up, or you think the devil up, cracks.
All right. That right there is called A-list, ladies and gentlemen. That is A-list. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Lord Jesus Christ!
All right. So I'm waiting for some feedback, some analysis, man.
This is a 3, man. They first of all, this is a stripper. This is one of those crappy, shitty strip joints out in the Bronx or whatever. This is that type of music, man. This is terrible, bro. They get this Rihanna wannabe on the song. They get the beat, which the beat I actually didn't mind if
I like the beat.
Had a better rapper or better raps to. I actually didn't mind the beat at all. But Mr. Cheeks, bro, no double nothing. No double time nothing. Like, I mean, not saying you should sound like the new, but the beat. You took the easy route with the slow beat. Sometimes you can rap slow, and for some rappers it works like a Scarface. Then with some slow songs, like you have to do the double time and kind of. It's like you add in a contrast to the slow beat and it sounds cool. That's why people like Migos and all these other, because it sounded kind of like a Migos-y kind of beat. And you went the lowest common denominator talking about that slow. Come on, bro. And then the other man was talking about my girl goes yeah, and da. Like, yo, bro, sometimes maybe I gotta stop smoking weed, or maybe I still smoking with embalming fluid. I don't know what y'all doing, but this is not
the only thing that I'll say is that, listen, they came out and they said Lost Boyz, next generation, maybe this is their next generation sound.
Well, they gotta cut it out because I've seen a lot of next generation.
Listen, you don't have the only person there from the original Lost Boyz is Mr. Cheeks.
Right.
But I'm not Sim, you're making it. I'm not asking for even on these songs. I understand you sound different. But this is lowest common denominator rapping. This is
I'm just saying it's I'm just saying, like, I think that's the sound that we're hearing. This just like the sonic sound. You don't have the same members.
I'm not asking you to sound the same, but you got to come with some type of fire. You individually. Okay, Freaky Tie's out there, Spig Nice is still locked up, but you individually still have to come and bring it. And when you're rapping that slow, and then your other man's talking about yeah, and calling me da, that's unacceptable, man. And you came from a better generation. Now, if it's one of these little mumble rappers who are high off of lean or whatever, I'd be like, all right, that's their crap. It is still crap. But Mr. Cheeks, like, no, you are better than this, man. This is trash. I'm sorry. Simmons Singh said, I'm confused about everything that is going on in that song.
Right.
Well, I mean, listen, it's hard. I mean, what it tells me, though, this is what it tells me is that Mr. Cheeks was not the person. He was the lead rapper, but he didn't put the ingredients in. That, in my opinion, that's what I'm saying, because you don't hear the ingredients. Freezy?
Hey, I'm gonna give Guillermo a 10 for the way he rated this song, and I'm gonna give the Lost Boyz a 2 for this joint. And the reason why they got a 2 is because of the beat. And and the chick singing, I think you need to have occasionally you need to have, some R&B diva on your hip hop to break up, to break up the hardcore stuff on your album, right? But Guillermo was
no
right.
Hardcore stuff on his album.
Huh?
There's no hardcore stuff on his album.
No, dog. Come on, we only on the third song. You telling me we got 3 more songs of this?
No, I'm just saying, like, right now, what we heard, there's no hardcore stuff.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying, I'm talking about what we've heard. There's no hardcore stuff. You haven't heard any hardcore anything.
And to Big Freezy's point about the girl, just real quick, Big Freezy, because you made a good point. I was listening to the female artist that you put on the one that had the song Nerve. I can't remember her name, but she had the song Nerve. And I actually liked the sound. She sounded like one of these, like, if you remember, like, Groove Theory from like the 90s. She kind of reminded me of that. And I'm thinking in my head, instead of these guys in trying to find new talent, instead of you putting on a woman to imitate Rihanna, why don't you try to find a woman that has a sound that's different to what's happening today. That's how new artists are found. Because when you find these little new artists who is like, oh, okay, she got a little new, unique sound, then somebody might write a song for her. They might, and that's how these artists blow up. And this guy, like I said, went lowest common denominator and took a Rihanna wannabe. I'm pretty sure if you went to the girl's singing, she probably looks just like Rihanna with that stupid half ball head cut.
And mention the Caribbean.
And she's probably from St. Vincent, instead of where's she from? Barbados or wherever Rihanna's from. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I didn't even cut your point of Big Freezy.
I like the beat. The intro, when I first heard the beat, I was like, yo, okay. So he might be doing something here. Because usually in that middle spot on your album, you might have a banger or something you might release a video or something for, and that home run hitting spot. And you know what I'm saying? So when I heard the beat come on, I was like, yo, this is the one right here. You know what I'm saying? But man, the chick singing, I didn't have a problem with her, but she sounded just like Rihanna. And y'all know I hate biting. You know what I'm saying? And then the beat was dope. And then these two dudes come on and they can't rap their way out of a wet paper bag. And you know what I'm saying? And listen, my whole thing, and y'all know me by now, man, you know, I ain't gonna pull no punches for nobody. You know what I'm saying? If a dude put out a whack verse, he just put out a whack verse. And this dude two dudes put out whack verses.
Yeah, okay, well, the cumulative score was
what is your
3.
score, Sim?
Huh? My score is a 3.
Okay.
My score is a 3.
Okay.
So the cumulative score is a 3. Yeah, I don't know. It felt like it felt like to me he's trying to, you know, just get modernized a little bit.
Stripper music. That's it. Strip club.
So far he's got a 7, a 5.5, and a 3. It's continually falling so far.
Right. And it sounds like his pen game whack. It sounds like his pen game is whack. Like he a washed up ass rapper. That's what he sounds like right now. Bro. Right.
Well,
that's what
we got 3 more tracks. 3 more tracks. Let's get with it. All right. The next song is called "By Surprise."
Oh. Okay.
Girl, you took me by surprise. Something about you just a vibe. You got that thing that I like. Yeah, you got that thing that I like. Something about you just a vibe. Girl, you took me by surprise. You got that thing that I like. Yeah, you got that thing that I like.
Hey, I told her like, there can never be enough songs written about you, what you do, no kidding. The way you look, the way you move. Shit, everything about you smooth. You deserve to be living where it's always sunny. And just living, not worry about money. I'm put it in, come enjoy life with me. Silent not raise a fan, you get me? Ain't stop thinking like it's just the last running. Surprise, I ain't seen you coming home. We here now, feelings are wrong. Let's get away, you and me, be alone. Step in harmony, you're that song that I can listen to all night long. Step in harmony, you're that song that I can listen to all night long.
Girl, you took me by surprise. Something about you just a vibe. You got that thing that I like. Yeah, you got that thing that I like. Something about you just a vibe. Girl, you took me by surprise. You got that thing that I like. Yeah, you got that thing that I like. Since I was young, I had my eye on you. Ain't too many things that I won't do for you. You got the swag with a vibe on you. Got my eye on the prize, I got my eye on you. Let me drip you with designer, baby. We can lay
all right.
somewhere recliner.
Now, I'm not gonna say my opinion on the song just yet.
Why not?
Because, you know, I've seen people or heard people say, Sam, don't influence nothing. So
You didn't. Yeah, I don't think you influenced that. You're not influencing me. I don't think you're influencing Big Freezy. So
you know, what's your take, Freezy?
Man, I kind of like this one better than the last one, just because it's it's got a creative element to it. You know, I don't think it's a bad joint. You know, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna give it a 5.
That's nice.
Okay.
I give this trash a 4, bro. Look, you trying to come with this
Wow.
Afrobeat reggae tone. I don't know what the hell this is. You're not that type of dude, man. Like, bro, and I'm not just saying, look, that ain't your flow. You ain't one of those rappers, the new rappers from Nigeria or whatever, who could do the Afrobeat thing. You're not that. Now, the content, I mean, you always been talking about chicks. You always, the way Mr. Cheeks used to talk about chicks was on some smooth-ish, like, whereas, like, he came with his ghetto vibe, whatever, but he got the chick because of the strength of his game, like Renee. He comes in walking with army fatigues, and he gets this working class lady who's in corporate America. I don't know what else she's wearing, but I think when he first met her, she had like a suit on or something like that. And it's like, he got off the strength of that. Now you're talking about, I got my usual surprise. Like, first of all, that chorus is
I
wild.
actually like the song.
Why you like it? Because it reminds
really
you of
do
other
enjoy-
it reminds you of other Afrobeat songs that you actually like. That's what it is. It plays a familiarity game where, oh yeah, it sounds like Jay-Z, but it's like, you know what this is? This is like,
Jay-Z.
this is like if your parents said, yo, we're gonna go to Whole Foods, right? To go get some groceries. Like, oh yeah, Whole Foods. Yeah, there's some nice little ice cream, I like whatever. And they come back and there's all Western beef groceries. And you're like, what the hell is this crap?
Well,
No frills crap. This is trash, bro.
I enjoy the song. I like the song, and it's a song that if I was DJing in the club again, I would play it. Guaranteed, I would play it.
Yo, D Public Enemy said, yo, Guillermo, he trying to get airplay, bro. What radio station's playing this song? You tell me,
I don't know.
man. When you try,
I'm just telling you.
Trying to be original,
I'm just telling you. I would play it if I was still DJing. I would play it. I would definitely play it. I'm giving it a 7.5.
What? Yeah, Sim, you bug.
I'm bugging.
Sim is doing some purpose, bro.
Listen, I can't.
Bro, it's a song that I like. See, that's one thing that I don't like. I don't like that. If I like a song, how can you tell me I'm doing it on purpose? I like a song. As a matter of fact, I'm not the only one. In the chat, we got an 8, we got a 2, we got a 7, a 3, a 5.5, a 6.5, a 6, a 7, a 4, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 8, 7, 6, 7.5. That's from the YouTube chat.
Trolling. He said this song is hot. I know Tribur. This ain't your Tribur. Stop.
Actually, Tribur and I had a conversation about this song earlier today.
Tribur, were you drunk, man? Like social distancing, drinking, like, bro. This is trash, bro. And then you got surprised. Come on, Tribur.
I think the acapella version would have got an 8, but 7.5. The acapella version.
Well,
what the dude
collectively
was talking about.
The blank version would have gotten an 8. Just no one talking, just emptiness on the track. This is y'all know this is Sim gave us a 7.5. I know Sim is bugging.
I like the song. I like the song. If I like a song, I'm gonna score it because I like it. Collectively, it got a 6.
Sim knows that. Sim knows that Mr. Cheeks is watching this, and he's like,
I don't care if he's watching it. Bro, I gave the last song a 3. I could care less if he's watching it. If he's watching it, bro, if he's watching it, that's good for me. I'm just going to be honest. Mr. Cheeks, you got a lot of stuff on here that I didn't expect from you. That song, I enjoy.
Okay, Sim. All right, let's just to make this fair, if you can quickly get a few other songs that you rated, if you can just remember off the top of your head, a few other songs that you've given a 7.5 to. So I can have a frame of reference, because you've given some decent songs that I've liked, that even you like a 7.5, maybe just miss some here and there. I need to get a just maybe 3 or 4 songs that you.
But I don't think you can do it that way, because there's some songs that I did not like that I've given a 7.5, that I kind of didn't really feel it. But, the beat sounded all right. The flow was kind of all right. Or maybe the lyrics was kind of all right. It was up to a certain standard of quality. It wasn't the greatest for me, but I said, okay, that's about a 7.5. Right? I like this song, but there's some things about it that I think, is not the Mr. Cheeks that I want to hear. So I didn't give it a 8 or above, because it's not everything that I want to hear, but I enjoyed it. And I could take it and I can ride to it and listen to it. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose. That is the whole purpose of getting, because there's other people in the chat that have scored it higher than me, right? And I'm pretty sure that there are songs that you like that they scored lower than this. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the whole purpose of having a group of people scoring it, because you got all different people listening with different ears, and you know, they're gonna hear it, and then that's how you really get a collective score and find out what the album really is like. In my opinion, I think it's a 7.5. I enjoy it, and I'm gonna play it too.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna play it when this show is over. To finish the song, to finish it out, I am going to play it. To finish this show out, I'm gonna play it. Next track. Next track is called Another Round. All right. I mean, listen.
I can't be reading these comments.
You know, I give props where if I feel the props are due, I give it to her. I mean, let's put it like this. Let's put it like this. Yo, peep this. Let's put it like this. That dumbass song we heard the other night, I got emails.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
Check this out.
God.
Check this out. That whack ass song I heard the other night, I got emails from people asking me to send them the song.
Which song? The I Got the Power?
The victory song.
Oh, I Got the Victory? Wait, oh
yes.
my Lord.
Okay, so I don't want to hear nothing.
Were those all Isaiah's from his all his
No, they were not from Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? People got different tastes. You know what I'm saying? People actually said, hey, can I get that song? Where can I find this person?
Those are the type of people that don't wash their plates right and they eat this.
Okay.
Bro. Man,
I'm just saying, man.
I got the power, or I got the right. What did he say? I got the love. What, I got
just
the
saying, people got different tastes, man. People got different tastes. Next song, Another Round. And we gotta live with that. People got different tastes in music.
See the Romans smell like them boys is in the building.
Another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah. You know what I need, man?
We need a shot of Jack with a bottle of Coke and a mountain choke. Some weed to smoke. LB. You can find us in the club, man.
Hey, Ralph on Real, they wasn't trolling me, bro. They really wanted the song.
Another round of them bottles, please. Session full of models and trees and cheese. I'm here with a few players from the team. Posted up on the scene, we's clean. Honey bouncing that ass like a champ. She's official, she get the stance. She's like, hey, yeah, I like the way that sound. Hey, drop it to the ground.
We need a shot of Jack with a bottle of Coke and a model choke with some weed to smoke.
I be throwing liquor down the throat till she bout to choke. Then I show her how to stroke like I got the boat. Yo, we sipping on the Henny, drinking straight with no ice. Always sipping Henny, get your nigga cake twice. Right now, you rockin' with the LB. It ain't shit you can tell me, but
a shot of Jack with a bottle of Coke and a model choke with some weed to smoke.
Lost Boyz.
All right. Dolly, I'm going to start with you, man.
Yo, I don't even know what I just heard. I have absolutely no idea what just happened.
Oh man,
that's where I was at. You know what it sounded like to me? Like he was trying to do some like 2000s kind of like like Lil Jon club banger kind of thing. That's what it sounded like. But it's like if you don't got Lil Jon's ad libs in there, then it's pointless. Like to me, like it's like what was that song with Missy Elliott?
This sounded like "Run, Girl, Run, Get Your Pussy." That's
yeah, like that, like what was it? What was these dudes' names back in the day that they used to rock with Lil Jon? The Eastside Boys.
Young Blood.
No, Eastside Boys. He's before Young Blood.
Yeah, Eastside Boys. Yeah. That's what it sounded to me like. They were trying to go for something like that, but it just didn't work. I couldn't understand them. Yin Yang Twins. Yeah.
Someone said,
I don't know what they was going for on that. What do you give it, Darlie? What do you give it?
Oh, because I like the beat. I give it a 5. I like the beat. I'll say that. Wow. Yeah, just because I like the beat.
Listen. Now, see, look. See. Now, he don't like it, but he gave it a 5, and Guillermo's like, what? You see what I'm saying? Everyone has a different taste, bro. And what they think is what? Joe Curry gave it an 8.
Yo, these dudes are
something
trolling.
different.
Yo, I know they trolling. I know they do this on purpose.
Bro, some people gave it a 2. Some people gave it a 3.
Sim, I heard you laugh through the freaking playing of the track.
But that's me. That's me. I'm not Joe Curry.
Yeah,
that's me. Okay, I'm not Joe Curry.
I don't want it so that you got. I'm not saying you guys should follow my whatever. I'm not saying that. But come on.
But what I'm saying is, how can you laugh at somebody else and be like, yo, you know that's trash if somebody else likes it? That's what I'm saying.
Is it 8 Joe Curry? All right.
I mean, I've seen Joe Curry give a lot of scores that, give like good scores. I mean, if he thinks it's an 8, it's an 8. What do you give it, Guillermo?
I give this shit a 2, bro. This is
okay. Man, that's you.
This is like you go to like Catra or Sutra Lower East Side, one of those shitty clubs in Manhattan, and you get in bottle service and you have that revelation like, yo, what the fuck am I doing in my life? Like, you're in a just awful. The floors are dirty. The bottle service.
Yeah, Guillermo. You know what I just thought of? Somebody going into the club with baggy pants in 2020, like with a big chain and a baggy shirt. All white tee.
One of those jackets with all the NBA teams on it. Yeah, this is
Freezy.
Jacket.
Freezy, what do you give it, Freezy?
Hey man, so as soon as I heard the song, I thought, let me get an order lemon pepper wings, a pitcher of Bud Light, and break this 100.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm giving it a 5 because I like the beat. But everything else on it was absolutely, I mean, it was trash.
I'm saying the beat is the only thing that carried that song.
Mr. Cheeks, you is a washed up rapper trying to recapture something.
Thank you.
And to me, I think he swung and missed on this, and maybe need to, look back at, what I'm saying, recapturing the fan base that he had back in the day, as opposed to trying to get a new generation. Sell your stuff to the people that bought your stuff before.
Yeah, maybe you find something else in rap. Maybe rapping ain't it for you anymore. Find something else.
Well, I'm going to say this though. I'm going to say this. Some of the other stuff that was released in 2019 doesn't sound like this at all. Doesn't sound like Lost Boyz, but it doesn't sound like this at all.
Okay. So you said they made an attempt to do something new, but they do have stuff that sounded like
I don't know what the attempt was, but they have some stuff that doesn't sound like this.
We didn't find out why some of these rappers just don't rap, not in terms of content, but just the flow. They don't, it just, because this doesn't even sound like Darley said, this doesn't sound like something that would be even relevant now. So is this a throwaway song he had from 2008? Like, yo, bro, this is.
I mean, I'm giving it a 4. So we have a 8, a 5, a 2, a 2, a 2, a 3, a 6, a 2, a 1, a 5, a 1, a 1, a 1, a 2, a 5, a 1, a 5, a 5, a 4. Let me add all that up.
A 1, a 1, a 1.
12, 13.
Yo, that sounds like he got sampled. One.
All right, so collectively it's a 3. Collectively it's a 3.
All right.
Collectively it's ass.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta go collectively, man.
Damn. Yes, 2 more songs, right?
One more song. Called Let's Ride. Last song on the album. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and check this out, and then we'll talk about whatever we're gonna talk about once we check out this last song. All right, Mr. Cheeks, don't DM me with no, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't smash me, bro. Come on.
Oh man.
You hearing it from the fans, man. Take it and say, okay, let's go back to the drawing board and come back a couple months and drop something hot.
Yeah, go back.
Let's ride. Let's check it out.
Yeah. Yo, we up in here, man. Casey Price, the motherfucking freaky child. Hey, yo, I'm I'm fresh to death, money in the pocket, name on the marquee. Tonight we gon' rock. Ain't nothing new, it's the way we do. Shit, the place get lit when them boys come through. When them boys come through, the shit gets lit. Pretty thick chick, show one tit. You know the runs when them boys start running. You and your crew come through, let's have some fun and let's vibe. I love nights like these when you can catch wreck and collect some cheese. Man, I do this thing with ease. I've been rocking out ever since I joined LB. Lincoln Park, Rockaway Bullet, watch spin backstreet, we rep the hood fully. Man, we meals like a pound a day. When I'm not around the way, still I'm around the way. Big boy sitting on them things looking hard. I'm posted with a crew, rude boys from the yard. I'm fresh with my Wildcat clothing, dice game going down, bills unfolding. I'm feeling fresh and I'm holding. I'm throwing out numbers every time I'm rolling. I take a pull of my back and take a sip of my yeah. I'm fresh to death, money in the pocket, name on the marquee. Tonight we gon' rock. Ain't nothing new, it's the way we do. Shit, the place get lit when them boys come through. When them boys come through, shit gets lit. Pretty thick chick, show one tit. You know the runs when them boys start running. You and your crew come through, let's have some fun. All
right, that right there is called "Let's Ride" by Mr. Cheat, by Lost Boyz. All right, fellas.
That's another 2 right there, man. That's a really good 2 right there, bro. I give it a solid 2.
Okay, Guillermo gave it a 2. Darley?
A 3.
That's pretty good.
Breezy?
Right. Man.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, man. I was hoping, man. This dude, I had my hopes up so high for this dude, man. I'm going to give this a 3.
Yeah. Giving it a 3.
I know.
Let me see. Mark Roberts is giving it a 4. Oops. Plus 4. Let me see. Simmons Singh. I said Sim Singer. Simmons Singh is giving it a 5. Ralph Unreal gave it a 5. I'm actually giving it a 5. Marquise Walker gave it a 3. Moment gave it a 7. The Public Enemy gave it a 6. MH gave it a 1.5. Triborough gave it a 5. Gregory Castillo gave it a 4. Joe Curry gave it a 0. Mike Morgan gave it a 3. New Knicks gave it a 4.5. Y'all making me do a lot of math now.
You counted the zeros, right?
Yeah, I counted the 0. Made by Kicks gave it a 2 or 3. I don't know what that is. You gotta give me one number. David Jackson gave it a 5. Marquise gave it a 3. And Krillians gave it a 7. Got a lot of scores up in there. I didn't count Made by Kicks because I don't got a score from them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Trash. Divided by 19 scores. Collectively, it's a 4. Made by Kicks gave it a 2. That keeps it about this. I don't know what that makes it, but collectively, a 4.
Yeah. Solid Snake gave it a 0. Thank you. Salute, Solid Snake.
They gotta get them scores in before we
Oh man.
They gotta get them scores in before I add it up. I'm not going back.
Right.
So you got this is the collective. This is score of the album. You got a 7 plus 5.5 plus a 3 plus a 6 plus a 3 plus a 4 equals divided by 6 a 4.75.
Wow, that feels high too.
Yeah, that feels high.
Come on, man. I mean, a 4.75 is literally terrible.
I mean, we literally had a string of the first 2 songs were like, it ain't us, and then the last 3 were just like, dude, what the?
I ain't even gonna talk about rounding up or down. I'm just gonna put in 4.75.
Yeah, even at 7.5. Can you just put that down to 4.5? It's oof.
I'm gonna just put it in
Man,
there.
what's going on, man, with these dudes and these albums, man.
They don't have that fire anymore, Big Freezy. It's done, bro. It's done. It's done.
There you go, man. Mr. Cheeks. Listen, bro. You're probably gonna unfollow me on Instagram. I get it. I get it, bro. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Collectively, you got a 4.75 as the final score of this album. You know, take it as constructive criticism. You're probably saying, "Who are you? Who are you?" Listen, you're probably saying, "Who are you to give me constructive criticism?" And I understand the thought process, but we are the fans that follow you. If anything, that means something, man. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. I'm rocking with you anyway. I'm still gonna go back and rock all your old joints, and I'm gonna rock number. Hold up.
Sim.
Yo.
Can I Sim?
And I'm going to rock by surprise. I'm going to go back and rock your old joints, and I'm going to rock by surprise. Maybe I'll rock money every once in a while.
No, so we need an intervention right now. You know
Ain't
that
no
song
intervention.
is trash.
Ain't no intervention. I like what I like. You like what you like.
Mr. Cheeks, if you're listening, go back to Party Ain't a Party and hear your flow on that. I know Freaky Top was there a little bit in the song, but in terms of making party songs and I think to me elite level flowing on a song, Party Ain't a Party. So, bro, come on, you got to go back to that and get that fire back, man. Where you were just spilling.
Yeah, but we need an intervention though for Sam, because Sam is showing love to that song, and that song does not need love.
Because
I just find disgust because when my man, when my dude West Side Gun was out there, and I'm not saying his album was perfect.
We're going back to this.
No.
Yeah, we're going back to that.
I'm just saying that Sim gave that Jamaican the little reggae crap a 7.5, and there were better songs on the West Side Gun album. Listen. I'm gonna say this. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. I like what I like. If something sounds good to my ears, I like it, and I score it that way. If something does not sound good to my ears, I don't care who makes it. If something does not sound good to my ears, then I am not going to score it. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care what the artist says. I don't care what other fans say. When I'm listening to music, I care about what I think because I'm listening to it for my own personal reasons. And I seen somebody in the chat say, well, you know, when you have a platform, when I have a platform, what? I have a platform to speak my opinion. Hey, what? When you have a platform, huh?
I don't know. Somebody in the chat said something about when you have a platform, you got to something. I have a platform so I can speak my opinion and say what I'm going to say, think what I'm going to think. You know what I'm saying? And I happen to think that song is good.
Big dog, what I'm saying is, and I'm not saying I'm disrespecting the way that you listen to music. What I'm saying is that song is trash. You know what I'm saying?
To you, that song is trash. But hold up, that song is trash to you. That song is trash to you.
I put money. If you went back to like the 90s, right, when Sim was rocking the Kango and all that stuff and the Timbs, if you played, he was playing Lost Boyz, right, and then you like, yo, listen to this new artist, and it was this, but he wasn't called Lost Boyz. He's called, some other crap. I bet you still would be like, yo, bro, take that out of my CD.
No, I would not. No, I would not. Trust me, as a DJ, I played stuff that people thought, yo, why are you playing that? But guess what? People on the dance floor was like, yo, this is tough. And they dance to it. I guarantee you, if you throw that on in the club, people will ride to it. I can guarantee it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, all I'm saying is, I like the song.
Yo, Freezy, it's me.
You may not like the song, that's cool. I like the song. So I'm going to grade it accordingly.
Okay. All right. You dug in on that song, man, and ain't nothing we can say to change. But consider this, though. The chick does sound like Rihanna. Right?
She wasn't on that song. That was another song.
That was another song.
That was a totally different song.
Yeah, that was the other one. That was a strip club sounding song. The first strip club sounding song. Yeah, like 3 of them on there. Or throwing it up in a club.
See what I'm saying? You gotta get the songs right. If you're gonna criticize me, you gotta know what song that I like and don't like.
No, that was big reason. I wasn't criticizing.
I'm talking to whoever.
So let me do this. Hey, my bad, I was wrong. My bad, I was wrong.
I'm just saying, you know.
I'm just saying, I'll be a man about it, man. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Don't bother. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
I'm just saying, you know.
It makes me shed a tear, man. It hurts when I hear some of my favorite rappers. And to me, again, Lost Boyz, one of those underrated groups. It just hurts to hear them try to spit this new stuff. And then it's like, damn, man, some of these, maybe these old dudes just got start rapping because this was.
I think that what they have to do.
Styles P still brings it, man.
I think what they have to do is just stick with their style. I mean, you're going to grow and change a little bit, but stick with the bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you have a few things where maybe you do this and do that, but stick with what's you instead of trying to go into a new generation. Just do what is you. That's what I think they have to do, because these artists, especially artists coming from back then, they created music off of originality, and that's what people loved. That's what drew people to them, right? Because they were original and they made their own. You know, they made their own style. When they start trying to, I don't know, you know, when they start trying to relax those standards, then this is what happens. You know, but listen, we're gonna get on to the next one, because this next one,
thank God. Oh, thank God.
This next one is I ain't gonna say nothing about it. Let y'all hear it. Right? I'm trying to get the scores up on the screen now. I mean, the titles and all that stuff up on the screen now. But as I'm getting it up there, you know, we'll go ahead and you know, start getting into it. All right. It's the album is called Ways and Means. It's by a rapper called Rasheed Chappell and 38 Spesh. It's got 7 tracks on the album. All right, the first track is called it's called The Toast. All right, and I don't know, have you guys heard of Rasheed Chappell?
No, I haven't heard of him.
I mean, I know you heard of, I believe I
heard of 38 Spesh.
Yeah, he's from Rochester. He's from Rochester, New York.
Okay.
And I believe Rasheed Chappell is from Jersey. I believe. You know, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the first one rocking while I'm getting these up here. So the first track is called The Toast. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing jumping.
You should get a cow that goes.
It's a minute and 8 seconds, basically an intro.
Thank you. Let me have y'all attention for a minute, and we get right back to the food, man. I just want to take this moment out to thank everybody that came out today. You know, everybody that's been a part of this movement, everybody that is now a part of this movement. This is a beautiful thing we got going on here. Wouldn't y'all agree? Yeah, I would agree too. You know, this is a monumental occurrence right here when you got this much energy, this much talent, and this much realness all in one room, you know? So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna find our own ways and means to really, you know, make this thing a reality. You know, trust is a movement, you know, and to be part of this movement is a beautiful thing. I see all my brothers out there, Mussolini, Planet Asia, you know what I mean? I got the Queen, Shay Noor, but most importantly, I wanna give a toast. Hold up. Don't sip it just yet. I want to give a toast to the man that put this all together, 38 Spesh. So everybody raise your glasses and salute. Trust.
All right, and we're going to save that to the end. The next track is called Ironhead.
In every word, yo. In the projects, niggas posting on hydrants, sex, money, and violence, gunshots, they firing. Police ask for government names, we don't oblige them. Tattoos of niggas we lost, they remind us that life's short. Unless convicted and you serving it, the victim or the culprit, the balance of life. Niggas juggle on their kitchen stove, balance the white. On dark corners, knocks on them, they avoiding them lights. Car chases, Bullpen pat downs, remove laces, niggas you ain't seen in a while. Familiar faces from top tiers. Hear him screaming your name on the block, only missed by a fiend in his vein. Your docket number, mother play it in the picket, and that pussy you would die for, another nigga in it. It's 1 for the money, and 2 we double up. 3 we break it down, 4 we burn it up. Niggas that ain't gone for them, we pour a cup, and our niggas on the inside low, we light a Dutch. Where there's a dollar sign, you probably find a crime. Where there's an empty stomach, you find creative minds. Adopt the hustle, we born to struggle, our birthrights. Love at first sight, pitch until our third strike. Pipes blow like street signs to lead us home. Full belly on that 38 Spesh chrome. Squeeze triggers, we feed niggas like IVs. Like IDs, we read niggas who pose real.
All right, I don't want to play the whole song. I don't want to play the entire thing. I don't want to burn your ears out. I don't want to burn your ears out on that joint, but yo,
that's what I want to hear.
Darley,
that's what I want to hear
it,
from these guys,
where you at with
bro.
It?
That's what I want to hear. I give this a solid 9, bro. This is what I want to hear from if you're from this generation, from that generation where you can rap. That's what I want to hear. You feel me?
I don't know. I don't know if he's not from that generation.
I mean, what I'm trying to say is, if
saying
you can
that
rap,
if we are the audience.
No, I'm saying if you can rap. You feel me? Like if you're a rapper, rap, because it's like you can't put imagine putting a mumble rapper on the beat like this, or like or if an old head tries to get on a beat where they're not really like a trap beat, like it never sounds right. But like if this is your lane, if you're good at this, do that, because that makes you shine.
Well, of course. I mean, he's doing that now. We'll see, when he turns 40, what he's doing. But where you at with it? Rasheed Chappell.
Give that a 9.
And 38 Spesh, of course. Give it a 9. Guillermo?
Yeah, I give that. I mean, I gotta listen to it again, but off the bat, man, I give that a solid 8, man. Like that was hard, man. I like the beat. I like his voice. It sound, he got that good street storytelling voice, man. I don't know. At first, kind of sound like Nas and AZ mixed together, but then so many good points sound like.
No. It does sound like Nas and AZ mixed together, for real.
Yeah, it was weird. Yo, what the hell? But someone said Capone, which I think Capone is actually perfect, like a faster sounding Capone, but he sounded like a Capone that got a little bit more nuance in his lyricism. So I give that a solid 8. And if I hear it again and I'll hear everything he's talking about, I might grade it higher, but for right now, I give it a solid 8, man. Oh, that was good.
Breezy?
Yo, I'm giving it an 8 because what happened, I liked the beat first before I heard the dude rapping, and then I heard the dude rapping. I was like, you know what? I kind of like this dude. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like, the flow. Everything he was talking about was not, I mean, it wasn't like an original, like his lyrics wasn't original, but the way he rapped was nice. So I give it an 8.
And I mean, I like that song just straight up. I think that song is fire. I'm giving it a 9. I mean, the beat, his flow lyrically, I think he's on point. Man, that joint is crazy to me. I'm giving it a 9. Let me see what we got here in the chat. Got a lot of scores here in the chat. A lot of people like it. So right now, I'm done taking scores. Mike Morgan was my last one. I'm done taking scores. We got a 9, a 8, a 7.5, a 9.5, a 10, a 9, a 8, a 8, a 7, a 8, a 10, a 6.5, an 8.5, 7.5, 7, 9, 8, 10, and 8.
Damn.
All right, so those are some high scores. Let me count them all up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I bet you Mr. Cheeks mad as hell right now. Mr. Cheeks is mad as a motherfucker right now.
Yo. He might be looking like, hold up, what? All right, so the cumulative score was an 8.
Average score. Okay.
It was it was actually like an 8.3. No, my bad. 8.5. Tripping.
All right.
Yeah, it was a solid song.
8.5. Cumulative score 8.5. Mr. Cheeks probably is heated. I'm like, hold up, what?
The first
Mr.
song
Cheeks?
y'all put on, y'all gonna give that an 8.5?
I would like to hear from Mr. Cheeks. What song would he want us to give higher than a 7 or 6?
Yeah, Mr.
You know
Cheeks.
what?
If you're
But
here,
it's okay to
put it
be
in the
angry.
chat.
Like, you feel me? Like you like if you're mad and you're hearing what people are saying, you kind of gotta take what people are saying and like use it, man. Like use it to your advantage. Okay, now I see what the people want. Use it as analytics.
There you go. All right, so collectively that score is an 8.5. That's Ironhead. We're on to the next track. It's called Rules of Conduct, and it features Planet Asia. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into it.
Yo. Ladies and me's. Yeah. No Hail Marys, no saving grace. My serenade was empty plates and sectioned off in Section 8. The taste of hunger still prevalent. It governs moves, rules and conduct, proceeds and product. I'm hardwired, so no batteries required. Pressure get applied, or the pressure we apply it. Through hell's fire and gun smoke, we chase hope. Then place faith in bank notes, we net gross. As warfare, we fatigued by the fallen flags. Tattered flesh, view the image of our comrades. Brown bags that hid liquor, now house work. On old niggas with sick livers, we threw dirt. My icons had Nikes on with belly pals. From the essence, my message is like the Melly Mells. No DJs, just D-boys that juggle bass. And B-boys and windbreakers that lower break. Socialize and vocalize the square root. Do the math and cut in half the whole truth. Gold tooth and bubble goose, I pray for 'em. Rest in peace to my niggas that was sprayed for 'em.
Wave spinning, check the water ripples. The outfit of a dime be like water dripping. Peep the game, keep your eyes on the pavement. Niggas been getting fly since the slave ship. Now it's multi-millionaire shares, microchip engagements, Silicon Valley mentality of the ages. The biography of Planet Asia is an economy of its own with many different phases. My run runs
All right, that right there, that's Rules of Conduct featuring Planet Asia. Okay, Freezy, I'm gonna start with you this time, Big Freezy. I'm gonna start with you.
Hey man, I kind of like the lyrics here. Kind of like the flow here. I kind of really like the second dude. He unfamiliar to me, but I think he kind of did his thing a little bit there, and I kind of like that beat too, man. I'm gonna give this one an 8.
Okay, me, I wasn't too crazy about the beat. I like it. I wasn't crazy about it. It was okay. But the lyricism I think is great. I love the flows. So I'm giving it an 8.
All right.
Guillermo?
Yeah, I kind of wish you didn't stop the song. I was kind of feeling the second dude because his flow kind of changed up as the song's going on. But
Planet Asia is nice though, man.
Yeah, I'm new to him, so
he can get real scientifical too.
I like that type of stuff, man. That Killer Priest type, scientific kind of, out there type of music. The metaphysical stuff. But yeah, I liked them. I like the song. I give it a 7 because I think the beat was kind of weak. It sounded a little cheesy, but again, I think there's another song. I just got to listen to the whole thing because I think they were going deeper than, at least where I raised. So I give it a 7. I give it a solid 7.
Okay.
For me personally, it's like I have a little bit of a disconnect between the beat and the lyricism. I love the lyricism, but that beat, that violin, the way that it was cutting through, it was too harsh for me. Like that, like just hearing that over and over would drive me insane.
Okay, bro.
But regardless of that, the second dude, I don't know who he is, but like he was spitting. He's spitting some shit. Like I like that line that he said, "Niggas been getting fly since the slave ship." That's a bar right there. That's true because we what I'm saying, we like getting fly. You feel me? So just based off that, I give it like a 7.
Okay. So far in the chat, we got an 8. based on us here, we got an 8, an 8, an 8. I got to give Guillermo's 7. You said 7, right, Guillermo?
Yeah, I gave it 7.
So we got an 8, an 8, 8, 6, 7.5, 7, 7. No, 7, 7.5, 7, 7, 7.5, 6.5, 10, 7, 7, 9.5, 8, 8, 7, 7. All right, so let me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so it's got a 7.5. Select a score of a 7.5. So far we have not scored the intro, as per usual. We kind of leave that intro to the end. The intro really does basically though explain the reason why the album is titled Ways and Means. All right, so far we got The Toast, no score. Ironhead 8.5, Rules of Conduct 7.5. Okay, the next song on the album is called Trust, featuring Jamal Gasol. And let's get with it.
Trust, the coalition. You know what I mean? From Niagara to Project City. Yo. We moving. Yeah. Hey, yo, Gasol, I see you, my nigga. Yo. A favor for a favor, our business model is brotherhood. So my name's solid, even in my brother's hood. It's real life, every word is spoken truth. The D's ducking, we in search of the golden goose. No child's games, as grown men before the stoop. Exposed early and through the lies, reveal the truth. I'm living proof, for prime example of God's word. Crack religion, parishioners in God's church. Silver spoons for heroin and cartoons. The daily norm in rare form, a sober night. TV blinking like a scene from the Poltergeist. How we zone when Spesh cook, we all eat. We all chief, we all crown, we all king.
I'm going to say right now, right off top, that sound right there is annoying for me. Yeah.
We all sharp over
here. Not feeling that.
It's a secret society, all we ask is trust. Strength coming numbers and all we have is us. Niggas want the raw, so here we bag it up. Then we flood every block till you niggas had enough.
Hey yo, I sit down and smoke thinking about my old life. Lord knows I wasn't living right. The time came, had to get it right. I hit the road and tell my baby keep the kitty tight. I got a habit for that hood traffic. I'm playing out on Bell Spesh. That's a real trap or die classic. My word,
all right.
O's like your neck full.
So that song is called Trust, featuring Jamal Gasol. And that was Jamal Gasol right there.
Jamal Gasol.
Guillermo, start with you.
I give it a 6. I mean, the beat was kind of whatever. Lyricism wasn't really that impressive. He had a little line about the church parishioners, and I don't really care for the song. It's just kind of boring. The second guy came on, his flow will change up a little bit. So, but overall, it's a 6. It's probably something I'm not really caring for.
Okay, for me, I don't understand why you added that to the beats.
Well, you and Darley have the engineering ear. Did it? I bet it's tough because when I hear it through the Whereby app, right, or through this page, the sound is always going to just sound worse than if I went to YouTube. So, does that sound actually sound that loud on the beat?
Yes, it does for me. Yes, it's like you got kind of a smooth beat, and then all of a sudden this. And you know what might help you, Guillermo, is if you mute when it's playing. Maybe if you mute the other two guys, because you're probably getting a lot of cross contamination as far as the music and sound and stuff. If you mute those guys, it might sound a little bit better.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah. You said a 6, Guillermo?
Yeah.
Mark Roberts gave it a 6.5. Solid Snake gave it a 5. See, that part of the beat really kind of ruined it for me. It just took my attention away from everything.
I was just about to say that.
It took my attention away from everything. I'm giving it a 7.
That's generous, I think.
It probably is generous, but I'm giving it a 7.
That's what I'm giving it to, Sam. I'm giving it a 7.
So if it didn't have that beat,
7.
then you would have given it a what? A 8.5?
If it didn't have that, I might have went up to a 7.5 or a little higher, maybe. But that really did like it just drew my attention away from everything. I just don't understand why that was there. Some people like that sound though. Darlie, what are you giving it?
For me, it was a 6, just because like, you know what it is? 3, you know, the first 3 songs that we've heard so far, they all kind of been the same thing in a way, which is I'm not mad at. It's just that one specifically was the worst one out of the 3 that we heard, and it's like, you know, in an album you want to see things progressively get better, not progressively get worse. So
right,
and especially that sound that, you know, that we're talking about, it's like, you know, I've been in rooms with you know, producers and whatnot, and you know, I've had the honor of working with like bigger producers, you know, and whatnot, and one of the things that they always say, like I used to ask them for advice, and one of the things that they said was that you little niggas is always doing the most on beats. That's what they always said. Like, y'all always doing too much on beats, and I think this is one of those cases where it was like you're doing too much. It's like just let the beat breathe. Like, let the rapper shine on it. It's not about your beat at the end of the day. It's about the rapper who's on that beat. You gotta work together. You feel me? So
yeah, nah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that, and I think that does happen a lot of times. People kind of just, you know, because when you're making music, you're making a beat. You know, you start hearing it, and you start to say to yourself, "It needs something. It needs something." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Collectively, everybody gave it a 7.2.
7.1.
Collectively, everybody gave it a 7.2 because, you know, there were a number of 8s, a couple of 9s in there. So far, and you know, one of the things, Darlie, when you talk about the, you know, how album starts to get progressively worse sometimes. A lot of times, you know, your first couple tracks, you know, you're trying to catch people's attention, right? So you definitely throwing some bangers out there, like boom, I'm gonna hit them, boom, 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 right? And then you get to the middle, and that's where you always get those filler tracks.
So you got to pace it. So like one of the, you know, just to add on to what you're saying, like one of the things that I learned from like, I guess like working on albums with the Zombies was that, you know, when you're putting an album together, they're like, yo, we can't just put all these bangers on one album, because it's like, if we put just records that bang, like we got to perform these records. And it's
right.
Like, we need space where we can breathe and like perform like slower songs. So that's what you do. You put the slower songs in the middle to kind of pace the things. And then you pick it back up towards the end because you want it to end on a strong note. That's always the end.
I mean, I think what happens though is not everyone is having a professional executive, an experienced executive producer there helping them to craft out the album. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's not just the songs on the album. I mean, obviously the song's got to be tight, but sequencing means a lot. Like you said, not putting all bangers on one album, you know, because what happens is you start to, you know, put them against each other. You know, a little bit, you know, you gotta have some room to show some versatility on the album, you know, versatile songs and things like that. It's tough, you know, putting an album together and not just making songs and throwing it out there, but actually putting together an album. You know what I mean? All right, so the next song is called Wolves or Wool. And to one thing that you said, Darlie, about everything kind of sounding the same and talking about the same thing, all of it is going to talk about the same thing. That's the kind of music that we're listening to with this album. You're not going to get that kind of, everything's going to talk about the same thing. You know what I mean? So, Wolves or Wool? Get into it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Witness the crowning of a king. This is made man ministry. Been through it all, survived and made history. The gem star imagery, they barking for that dog food. Last moments of freedom inside the courtroom. We still roll like the tears down a mother's cheek. Acts of violence, the only language hunger speak. Either wolf or you war, cause nigga talk a sheep. We raise prices, send them to close eyelids. Stove pilots, soft powder and Pyrex. All together they menage like they making love. Before the money to come, you gotta break them up. No cosmetic, my nigga, you couldn't make this up. It's authentic, every line in my resume. Just like the residue, my name resonates. My words illustrate life how I see it. A nigga facing odds, I'm just trying to break even. Look for you all, you the lion or the lamb. 10 toes down, now you lying on the stand. Niggas claim killers, but niggas is really fans. Can't run with the wolves, cause niggas is truly lambs. Scared money don't make money, you in the way. Devise a plan, map it out, then I made a play. Said my daily bread before I laid my head. Made sure the doors was locked and the dogs fed. That's boss talk, only spoken by employers. Jewish manager got a Muslim lawyer. Before the dollar bill, we swallow bitter pills, carry sticks and stones.
All right,
and out on
that right there was Wolves or Wool. No features. It's 38 Spesh and Rasheed Chappell.
Yo, Sam, I got a question.
Yeah.
That telephone effect, did it sound harsh on your end too? Because me listening through the whereby, it sounded really harsh. Like it was like it had a lot of high end and it was just like cutting through.
Nah, it didn't. It was all right. I think it was all right here.
Okay.
I think it was all right. So, Darley, you spoke on it. What's your take on it?
I think a 7. I think it sticks to that same kind of thing as the other records, but like I like the beat here a little bit more. There was nothing that like was annoying, so I can give it a solid 7 and be comfortable.
Okay. All right, Big Freezy.
I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 also, man. This dude voice kind of sounds like Cassidy to me.
That he does.
Okay.
He does.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guillermo.
I give it a solid 7. The beat was whatever. I thought he was actually going to start talking about like courtroom stuff because, like, remember that song "Testify" by Common?
Uh-huh.
Like, I kind of like that. Like, I thought he was going to go through because he's talking about make out of court. I thought he was going to go through a scenario where like, he's about to beat the case, and then maybe something happens. I thought he was going to go through a story like that, and I didn't think the lyricism was that great, but just off the content alone, if he went through something like that. And look, it's not the most everybody talks about getting, but if he was gonna make a whole song on that, I was probably gonna give him some higher. But the chorus was kind of whatever. The beat I didn't really care for. But I thought the content had a lot of potential, so I give it a solid 7.
Okay, I give it a 7 too. I felt like it was good. It was there.
Oh, I'm sorry. One thing I do like, even though his rhyming isn't like, on these songs I've heard, it isn't like the greatest. One thing I do like that he does in terms of subtly changing up the flow to not make it so monotonous is that on like I guess Darley would know what this is, but it's like on the odd verse, he changes up the rhyme, right? So it's not just him saying, bleak, 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 meek, trash. Ass.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He changed up where like he'll do like bleed,
and then he'll change that. He'll change the vowel.
Yeah, right. And he'll change it up on like on an odd verse, so it kind of catches you off guard and it keeps you kind of engaged in what he's talking about. Because I like when people kind of flip it up like that. Even if the flow isn't crazy or the lyricism isn't that crazy, kind of throws that in there at times.
Okay. So collectively, everyone gave it a 6.9. Yeah, 6.9 collectively. So, you might as well round that to a 7. So far, we're at an 8.5, 7.5, 7.2, and a 7. Wolves. Wolves of War. Now the next track is Mutual Respect featuring Mussolini. All right, and the one thing, that's the one thing we know though, Guillermo, what you were just saying about, you know, going into that concept of the courtroom. You know, looking at kind of the group of people we're listening to right now, you know, they're probably not going too deep into that kind of storytelling, right? You know, they kind of stick to one lane for the most part.
Right.
Which for me always ends up being a downfall to an album for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Explain that point again. I might be getting what you're trying to say incorrectly.
No, you said, you know, you were hoping that he expanded more on going to court and going into a story about being in court and stuff like that, right? But as we know, you know, we're not dealing with artists that get that deep into, you know, like really storytelling and being that conceptual. You know, they kind of stick in their lane and throughout the entire album.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, you know, I just feel like, you know, I don't know, it's not like character songs or something like that, but, you know, it's like these scenario songs where it's like, you know, you create, because sometimes what these live rappers do, these lyrical rappers, that they spit good stuff, but there's a lot of just, it doesn't really, there's no real story, there's nothing to it. Like, again, storytelling, like creating something, you know, Nas's Rewind, you know, Second Childhood, create a scenario, even if it's like various stories within.
Like, you mean like body in the trunk, like a body in the trunk.
Body in the trunk.
Yeah.
You know, give me.
I mean, right.
But,
Like
you know,
they complete a thought. They actually they complete the thought.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
and not even just complete the thought, but it's still like gangster. It's still their lane. But it's explaining one scenario. Like they'll go through a verse. Let me just stick to a verse. They talk about a bunch of scenarios, how they, you know, did this to that person, right? Mm-hmm. But when you talk about body in the trunk, you know, it'd be, you know, where they said, yeah, you know, I bagged this person and I dumped this body in the trunk. Go on to the next thing that they're talking about.
Right.
They actually took that body in the trunk and explained the story behind it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it still was dope. And it still is in that lane. You know, and maybe, you know, at some point, hopefully some of these artists that are in this lane, you know, in with this whole, you know, this clique of people start to go in that route. You know, as they, you know, keep going and growing as artists. Unfortunately, though, I've seen a lot that are in this lane, album after album after album, it's the same thing. And, you know, and they don't expand out much more. We'll see what happens with this dude. All right, the next song, Mutual Respect. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Trust, yeah. Y'all know the motto. I see you, Moose. You got one. Yeah.
I plan to go rags to rich. Swear to God, this my last attempt. If this don't pan out, nigga, I'm a mask and stick. I'm the last legit contender for the crown. You niggas all clowns. Red nose uses targets. You niggas novice. I'm Olympic with this wordplay. Gold medalist birds, they fly featherless. Move medicine, teaspoons of heroin. No paper trail, no fingerprints, no evidence. Know the regiment, my daily MO. I'm up late night like Jimmy Kimmel. No jokes here, just smoke here, stay woke here. Fuck around and get perm caught in these crosshairs. Talk fair and emotion of the week. And hogs get slaughtered when the hunger turn to greed. Indeed, my recipes is gourmet. My name is legendary and echoes inside the hallways. Get pussy without the foreplay. You push me, I get the court case. The game different is lame niggas who pose real. Couldn't hold their liquor, so how they hold still. Oxycodone fiends, these niggas pop pills. This the rehab, niggas be trying to relapse. Imitate the things they seen and try to be that. But nigga, we that, the authentic. I'm self-made, no assembly required. No puppet on a string, ain't nobody pulling wires. My entire catalog is gravitas. I painted opulent, like the Taj Mahal. To my number call, I'ma stay solid and make moves that make dollars. Y'all niggas trying to be buddy-buddy and all that, man. We trying to get this bag. We'll talk to him. I can give a fuck about a mutual connect. I only link with niggas if it's mutual respect. Some niggas want the credit, but nigga, just cut the check. Trust come first, my nigga, to death.
Mutual respect, it's the domino effect. When it's trust in the set, I was drunk on the bench, smoking blunts in the jacks. Now I'm up next, few racks on my neck. The beef that it, me, I'd rather stack ladders. Buy a few cribs, it's called good credit. Cooking up crack, it's called good leverage. Always keep your honor. And if you in the game, nigga, always keep your arm up. I be in my lane, so I'm always unbothered. Drugs in your veins, you gon' need.
That was Mutual Respect, Future Mussolini. That was Mussolini right there. Darlie, I'm gonna start with you, man.
I think it was another 7.5. 7.5. Because I like this beat. I like this beat a lot. Like I said, the subject matter is the same, so there's not much to really talk about there. So other than the bars, they came with it. At first, the second guy was getting a little bit weird for me, like that. Like I really didn't know what he was talking about. But then he like fixed it up towards the end, and I was like, okay. Like he picked it back up.
Okay, see, actually for me, Mussolini ruined it for me. I was really enjoying it. I liked the beat. I wasn't feeling Mussolini. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't feeling him.
That was the second guy?
Huh?
Yeah.
The second dude. Yeah. I wasn't feeling Mussolini like that.
You know, he sound man, I forgot his name. When I remember, I'll say it. Yeah, Fabulous. Kind of remind me of Fabulous a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, what about you, Guillermo?
Like him. Didn't rap like him. Just sounded like him.
Sound like him.
What about you, Guillermo?
I gave us a 6.5, man. I thought this was whack. You know what's crazy about this dude? He has good vocabulary, like, and I just feel like he's kind of selling himself short. Like, I don't know what it is. This is the corniest thing. It sounds like I'm a coach, but he has to dig deeper into like his rapping. Like, it can't just be the same. I mean, if you're gonna talk about the same stuff, you got to make sure things are different, right? You got to make sure your beat is, is something different. You got to make the story content, maybe give us a story, something different than what you're talking about, because the same vein, I'm gonna come to the top and, I'm taking out all y'all rappers, y'all all take lean. I mean, those are nice things to hear, but give me a situation where you fake drinking lean with somebody and you rob them. You know what I mean? Like, give me something that's more interesting than you just ishing on because I mean, we've heard of it before, and it's just, and this song
makes them look like haters, if anything. That's the problem with doing something like that. It looks like it makes the older guys look like, oh, like we, they just hating on the newer generation of rappers, which is like, it's fine.
Right. But put it like this to me, I don't care if they hate anymore, because I mean, a lot of that hate is justified because some of these new rappers are terrible, but make it interesting. Because you can't say, yo, these new rappers suck, but you come with something that's this boring. It's like, dude, you can't do that, man. Like, you can't shit on like the 73-9 Golden State Warriors and you're like the 8 and 50-some or 60-some Charlotte Bobcats. You know what I mean? So I give this a 6.5. Man. This is whatever.
Hey, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. And the reason I'm gonna give it a 7.5 is because they took an old school R&B beat and chopped it where you can't recognize it.
So wait, can you? What group?
So it's Fool's Paradise. Yeah, it's Fool's Paradise by Melissa Morgan. Jay-Z used it for Mary J. Blige sung a thing. I forget the name of the song.
Can't Knock the House.
Taking out this time. Yeah, Yeah.
Taking out this time.
Right, that's Fool's Paradise by Melissa Morgan.
Oh,
right, so Yeah. So that was a little creative there. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as I heard human beings on the song, I was like, oh my God, they just killed it. They ruined it. Whoever the producer was got creative, like took something that we were kind of used to, took like a hood classic and put a spin on it. And then as soon as they put a human being on it, I was like, man.
All right, well, I gave it a 7.
7.
And we had scores of 8, 7.5, 8.5, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 10, 7, 7, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7, 6, 6.5, 7.5, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18.
Like, could I just say this is the best comment section in the world? So,
What you say?
Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat.
All right, so it's about, so it gets a score of, it rounds out to a 7.
Okay.
Rounds out to be a 7. You said it's the best chat. I can't see everything that they're saying in there, but you know.
Hey, Gregory Castillo said double cup of Fanta.
All right, and the last track is called Eye of the Storm.
Please let this be something.
Eye of the Storm featuring Shay Noir. All right, so let's go ahead and get this one up here. Check this one out.
It's my word. It's my word. Yo. Hey yo, we hard knock graduates, hard rock advocates, niggas making something from nothing, we had to master it. It's no diplomas, just the corners we presided over. And the fiends medicated in and out of comas. Daily rituals, still haunted by another body drop before the blood is dry. Ain't no religion, God saving our souls. So many niggas dead and buried for they 20 years old. When the good die, the hood cry, Hennessy tears, lit candles. Another mother mourning a kid, like clockwork. Time never wait for no man. Time is of the essence in the palm of our hand. Time is what they're giving for that gram in your palm. Now I find calm in the eye of the storm, for real.
Click full of bosses, not a single bitch with me boosting. And every single nigga with me shooting. Summer day top down bumping Whitney Houston. Mistakes from lack of knowledge, but I wish we knew it. Light a blunt, take a drive when you hear this verse. Ain't had my father in my life cause he was near a curb. So mama trying to figure out what she gon' wear to work. And granny too busy stressing what she gon' wear to church. When it's war, we learn to shoot with these snipes. Became a menace cause the elders ain't influenced me right. I use rap as my escape, they never knew she was nice. I'm Jill Scott, niggas amazed at what I do to these mics. Tattoos over flesh. Cruel cause I had some bitches reaching trying to use me as a step stool. When I signed a TCF, that was my best move. Spesh gave me the cause and I turned it to a chess move.
And now we moving in sync, move birds to written word, this Peruvian ink. Rock links without a charm or a modern day slave. Secrets of my dead kin I take to the grave. Every lesson like a striped urn worn on my sleeve. Salat, the only time that I'm down on my knees. Mouths to feed, so it's laws to break. For every reward is a risk to take. To be a poet, I endure trauma before your honor. Still for my reckless attempts, I'm
gonna say this about this guy though. You know, he's got some potential to do something, I think.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I think he's got some, you know, as he continues to build and grow his craft and develop and everything, I think he's got some potential to do some stuff, man. He can be lyrical. He can say some things. I like that track right there. I really like that song. You know
what is it for you, Tom? What you score that?
What'd you say, Darlie?
What'd you score that?
My score is an 8. I scored an 8.
I agree. I like the first of all, shout out to the female spit. I don't know who she is, but you know,
she bodied that.
Dude, that whole little you know, what I do to the mics like Jill Scott, that line, I was like, all right, she know, you know, she didn't have to talk about, you know, popping her pussy and, you know, having sex a whole bunch of, you know, curved dick. You know,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she came in and it didn't sound like a woman trying to sound like a dude. It sounded natural, sounded organic. So, I mean, I want to give it an 8.5. You know, screw. I give it 8.5.
Me too.
That beat was nice. It sounded like some Eye of the Storm, you know, in a hood type ish, man. It gave me that kind of feeling like Hell on Earth, the Mobb Deep song, but like fast for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, salute to that song. Salute to that the woman who was rapping, man.
Yeah, now for me, I ain't gonna hold you. I might be rating it kind of high, but I give it a 9. I actually really like this record. It's hard for me to say, yeah, I can go back and listen to this record. I'm probably gonna go back and listen to this record to hear what she was saying over again.
Right.
she bodied that. Like
her flow was nice, man.
You know what's my one criticism so far though of all the records that we heard is that just the engineering portion of it. I just feel like the vocals needed to get stacked a couple times to make it sound bigger and things like that. But that's more subjective things than it is like.
I think that's kind of subjective. What did you give it, Darley?
A 9.
Okay, and Big Freezy, what you giving it?
Yo, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 because it sounds like somebody actually sat down, listened to the beat and actually wrote to it. You know what I'm saying? Like they was like, yo, this is what I'm feeling in the moment while I listen to this beat. You know what I'm saying? And so they wrote to it. The chick sounds soulful, like an old soul. You know what I'm saying? Talk about her grandma getting dressed for church, stressing over that. You know what I'm saying? That's something like people actually think about. And mama getting dressed for work. That was dope.
Yeah. Nah, dope track. The collective is basically an 8.6 is the collective score, so it's just like an 8.5.
And he definitely sounded like Nas in the beginning. He really
did.
You put more bass in his voice. It literally would have just sounded like Nas on like some like on a Godson album. Like
it was the flow.
So we got all right. So we didn't score the toast, right? That was the beginning of the album. We didn't really score that. It was kind of the intro, him talking to, a group of people about, this is our ways and means of surviving, right? I don't know, you kind of score, you want to score it or no? I mean, we usually been going back and scoring them on how it relates to the album, so, I guess, you got to keep it fair.
So disjointed. It didn't
I'll play it one more time.
On the motherfucking end.
Oh, hold on. That's not it. Here we go.
Thank you. Let me have y'all attention for a minute, and we get right back to the food, man. I just want to take this moment out to thank everybody that came out today. Everybody that's been a part of this movement, everybody that is now a part of this movement. This is a beautiful thing we got going on here. Wouldn't y'all agree? Yeah, I would agree too. This is a monumental occurrence right here when you got this much energy, this much talent, and this much realness all in one room, So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna find our own ways and means to really, make this thing a reality. Trust is a movement, and to be part of this movement is a beautiful thing. I see all my brothers out there, Mussolini, Planet Asia, you know what I mean? I got the Queen, Shay Noor, but most importantly, I want to give a toast. Hold up, don't sip it just yet. I want to give a toast to the man that put this all together, 38 Spesh. So everybody raise your glasses and salute. Trust.
All right, so that right there, that's the intro. What are you giving the intro?
I think the sound design on it was a little weird. I'm not gonna hold you. Like when somebody's giving a speech, do you really have a whole bunch of people interrupting you the whole time? Like, I don't know.
You do.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it just felt, whenever you hear like somebody toast you, I feel like the album should have been like more grand, like more
okay.
elaborate. I don't know how to put it.
I hear what you're saying.
Like these guys just talking about the streets. Like you don't celebrate. Like, all right, yo, thanks everybody. All right, now we're gonna talk about death and sorrow, huh?
Exactly.
It sounds like he's gonna talk about he's gonna do like a Jay-Z. Was the album a 444 album? It sounds like he's about to do something like that with intro.
I wouldn't say 444, but I understand what you're saying, Guillermo. And even if you're still talking, street. Whatever, the sound of it could still the sound like, for example, on West Side Gun's album, they had they were auctioning off a painting, right? It kind of set up the album, and then the sound of the music kind of matched that scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying. Freezy.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5 for originality, but like what Guillermo said, not stealing his words, but you would think it'd be about something grand, like some type of accomplishment, and not go straight to death and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't celebrate that kind of stuff.
You know what I realized? I think the thing that I didn't like was the toast at the end, like the sound. It sounded like Snapple bottles, like
right. Exactly.
Maybe that's what they come forward, man. I don't know. I don't know how you.
All right,
I don't
so
know how you buy sounds or sound effects, but
I give it like a 6.
Okay. Freezy, what did you give it?
5.
You gave hold on, let me see where I'm at. You gave it a 5.
Right.
All right, let me do this over. I kind of lost where I'm at. All right. So Guillermo, you gave it a what?
I gave it a 6, I think.
A 6. Freezy gave it a 5. Darley, what you gave it?
A 6.
6. Marquise gave it a 9. Let me scroll down just a little bit. Moment gave it a 6. Triborough gave it a 7. Marquise. He tried to throw another score in there. Made by Kicks gave it a 5. Simmons Singh gave it a 7.
Like, yo, it's not that deep.
Huh? Gave it a 9. Big Freezer gave it a 5. 6.5. And all right. And I think I'm giving it a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Got about a score of a 6.3.
Okay.
All right. Score of a 6.3. So that makes it a 6. All right. Let's score this whole thing out. We got a 6. 6 plus 8.5 plus 7.5 plus 7.2. I don't know why I put that in there, but since I put it in there, I'll keep it there. Plus a 7 plus a 7 plus a 8.5 equals 7. So as a whole, the album gets a 7.4. So you might as well make it a 7.5. Your take, Darley?
On the whole thing?
So as a whole, it got, basically about a 7.5.
I think that's about right, honestly.
About a 7.5.
Yeah, because most of the songs were at 7, and you had a couple 8.5s, I think, in there. So that sounds about right, 7.5. I mean, I think that's a respectable, for what this is, a respectable rate. I think the album, production-wise, could have been better. Lyrically, I think it was good, and obviously there's always room for improvement. But from what we got so far, I wasn't mad at anything, and there wasn't a song where I was like, okay, the lyrics are whack. Like I don't think there was that. But production-wise,
the lyrics did get repetitive though. The lyrics did get repetitive, like on a creative level,
So I think that the beat, the production of the beats were good. Some of them could have been better. And then the engineering, like I said, that's more of a me nitpicking kind of thing. But it's I guess for me, it's like I want to hear a little bit more stacks on certain words and things like that to make it sound bigger, give it more of an emphasis. Because those little things are what matter at the end of the day. People don't think about it, but like when you're hearing a Nas record and he doubles on a word on a punchline or something, that makes you remember that punchline. It's so minimal, but it makes a big difference.
Well, you're working with people that's still building their engineering skill and all that kind of stuff. And I seen someone put in the chat, say, oh man, they critiquing the intro too. Yeah, man. I mean, if it's on the album, you're gonna critique it because the intro could be an important piece to an album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the intro is just somebody spitting 8 bars or 16 bars, or sometimes it's whatever. It could mean a lot to the album. So yeah, critiquing everything. You know what I mean? Shoot, lucky we don't critique the album covers.
right.
All of that stuff goes into your listening experience, though, man. I mean, I know, back in, it's not like this now, but back in the day when I bought an album, I cracked it open and I was listening to it and reading everything on the inserts and looking at pictures and doing all of that stuff, and went into the entire experience.
Went through that little booklet.
But overall, it was a decent album. I think this kid has some potential, though. I really do. I think he's got a lot of potential to be okay. I'll be looking forward to hearing some more from him in the future. I can tell you that.
Learn the art of storytelling, man. That's what you can tell most of these rappers. Learn the art of. If you don't have a beat, like a lot of these guys now have the beats that basically overpower the song. Learn how to storytell.
I believe that this kid, just from what I hear,
he has a lot of potential.
Do it.
I think he has a lot.
I think he can do it if he wants to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'll see if he does it, but I think if he wants to, he can do it. There's a kid that also came out this week that I just, the albums that came out, I was like, let me just check some of them out, see what they sounded like. There's one kid from New Orleans, D1. It wasn't bad. He was all right.
You have some stuff from him?
What'd you say?
You have some stuff from him?
I mean, his album's on Spotify. I could pull it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. He was all right. But then, when I did more research and I was looking at his songs and stuff, what was weird is that a lot of the songs on his album that just came out it's yesterday now. That just came out yesterday. It's called Timeless. A lot of the songs on that album came out. He put it out on YouTube like 8 years ago. I'm like,
wow. What are we doing?
So I don't know what that's all about, but
maybe he's trying to do the whole Nas thing. He's trying to get rid of albums that he was supposed to do and try to get out a deal. I don't know.
I have no idea, but the thing about him, man, the thing about him is he has some skill. I'm gonna play a song. This one is called Blue. All right.
Look, I rock the double rosary cause I got double foes opposing me. Sometimes it's hard to deal with the fact that my God has chosen me. Supposedly the real is back, the fake gon' have to deal with that. I like to get an order of substance and add some skill with that. Caps is still peeling back, cats is still dealing crack. Walking around with chips on their shoulders and getting killed with that. To one man it's a nightmare, but the next man is living that. A couple cats make it out the hood, most ain't giving back. Past the preacher smelling like that marijuana aroma. Shorty body developing early, the whole hood on a cell phone, texting late at night. Some dude is twice her age, he ready to give her the pipe. I hate it, but you's a fool if you ignore it or debate it. It's not the cats isn't learning, they just miseducated. Ask people how they doing, they say I'm just trying to make it. They say they starved, I left them food for thought. You think they ate it? Yeah.
When the
I'm still here. One of my friends said I'm changing. Nah, boo, I ain't changing, just a little more famous. Lucky never that, I beg to differ. My journey's like a movie, cats is finally seeing the big picture. And the same folks who doubted, when I was reaching out, see that what they saw was a star. Funny how that seesaw evens out, huh? You know you got a lot of pride built up when you just hear a beat come on and your eyes tear up. But I'm just thinking about all the sacrifices that were made, all the dues that were paid, all the people I forgave, writing songs like a slave, best friends in the grave, love life in disarray. Should I leave? Should I stay? No such thing as running away. Y'all better check my resume. Day to day, I just pray God will make my life okay. And I don't need a buffet, I just need a decent plate. Scratch that, I want it all, man. It's time to make something shake.
I actually like this dude. The thing, I don't want to say the thing about him, the thing that he probably wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know how far he'll go because he's basically a Christian rapper. You know, I'm gonna play one more joint from him. It's called Writer's Block, and both of these came out like years ago. So I don't know, what the whole story is behind this album.
Let's go. Yo, I got a bad case of writer's block. Nothing sounds right. Everything I jot down ain't tight. But I'm trying to write a song every night to shed light on the fight that my people go through and offer my insight. But I'm so uninspired. I'm forcing my words. They so insincere, it's absurd. But I'm sure that if 1,000 people hear this, 500 will feel this. Half of them is lying, so 250 still with me at this point. But watch what I do. About 50 girls is only listening cause I'm cute. That leaves it at 200. That's the people who feel that I'm the truth, like Pierce or Siegel. That's Paula Beanie. I know you see me, cause I got a buzz like a girl that drunk 4 martinis. Not eeny, meeny, miny, mo. 200 fans left, but 1 out of every 4 failed to know that G.O.D. drives me. Once they find that out, I'm at 150. To those who riding with me, when I'm gone, don't forget me. Cause even if they hit me, the movement should move on infinitely. So wish me well amidst the pain and stressing. I doubt that it'll lessen, but life is about progression. I knew what I was doing soon as I started pursuing. I'm 1 wrong decision away from this being ruined. 2 and 2, that's 4. 4 and 4, that's 8. 8 and 8, that's what I'm great at. Give you 3 of them 16s plus a hook, you played it. I said that 150 was left, I was mistaken though. 1/3 of them gon' stop liking me soon as I start caking, yo. Half of them gon' stop riding soon as I hit the radio. Saying he done sold out, he ain't like he used to be. How you know how I used to be? I snap and hit your whole block up with prayers. Y'all ain't used to me. 50 fans left, 10 hate me cause I'm red. 10 don't like me but won't say it. 10 mad that girl like my dreads. 20 left, 12 want me to marry him. 6 looking for a handout, they want me to carry him. Never that, delete and bury him. That leaves it at 2. 1 is me, and if you still there, the other is you. Yeah, that leaves it at 2. 1 is me, and if you listening, the other is you. That's all I need.
I like this kid. I ain't gonna lie.
Yo, he's nice, man.
Yo.
Yeah, it's crazy because he got a flow, but I mean, he still got that New Orleans like sound to him. Like, he nice, man. The whole numbers thing he was just doing, and
yeah, man. Yeah, he's all right.
Flow,
you know what I visualized? I put it in the chat, but I visualized like if I was watching like a video like the Souls of Mischief video 93 too, that's what it was kind of what I pictured in my head, like when he was rapping, like that kind of visual. I don't know why.
What, them like sitting near rocks and rhyming and stuff?
Yeah, like that's literally what I visualized.
What?
Yeah, like on the beach or something. I don't know. Like he's just rapping, like it's black and white. Like it's like, I don't know. Like that's literally what I'm.
He's good, man.
It didn't sound like overburdeningly Christian, where he's like, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. Like,
right.
I agree.
It sounded
I
cool.
agree.
Like,
and that's where, like, because I always ask the question, could a Christian rapper blow up, right? And
I just don't think that people, because you remember like guys like Flame and who's the other dude name? Skinny light skin dude. I actually think he signed to a label too. I can't, a major, something like that. I can't remember his name, but it's like a lot of them. Honestly, I think it's because they probably got hype from someone saying, "Oh, they can rap a little bit," and they talk about God. Yeah, you're good. So they got blessed in their own, no pun intended, but they got blessed in their own community.
Right.
Thinking that they're mad nice, but it's like once they get to the real world, their flow ain't that great. And the thing about it is like when you hear this guy talking, it don't really sound like he don't sound preachy. You know what I mean? If you say, I think one thing that Christian rappers fail to do is that they don't relate to people outside the faith, right? So it's one thing if you're saying, Christ, this and that, like people within your church or the community, they're like, oh yeah, I feel that. But then the average, the guy on the street, drug dealer, the robber, the kid, like they're like, whatever. You ain't me though. So I mean, I think this guy, I don't know. I have to listen to the song again to get the proper content, but he don't rap like even how he rap. He got like so much charisma when he talks. Like it's just I don't know. He sounds like a hustler from New Orleans, like trying to spit something to you, trying to sell something to you, but you don't know what the hell he's trying to sell to you because it's like his voice inflection's changing. He's sitting there, I don't know if it's numerology based, playing with numbers and everything. It's like, yo, is this dude is he from New Orleans or from New York?
Right.
Yeah.
But you know,
oh, go ahead, Freezy, my bad.
So, but you know what though? He and buckle your seatbelts, man. Don't get don't go overboard. But he sound like the New York rappers from back in the day that spoke specifically to their listeners and didn't care about record sales. You know what I'm saying? You ain't heard first of all, you heard no DJ drop, no ad libs, no R&B chick singing, no over scratching by the DJ, no feature. It was just him talking to the listener. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell he heard a beat and he sat down and wrote to the beat and tried to do something not overly lyrical because being lyrical is his talent. He just delivered a message. And so by doing that, he set himself apart.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. He's good, man. And like you said, he doesn't sound overly preachy. He's found a way to push it in there to let you know, but still just kind of be able to hit some real world issues. You know what I'm saying? Without sounding like, oh, you're gonna go to hell if you don't do this, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's been he's attacking. Because my daughter goes to a Christian school, right? Not anymore because of what's going on. And she just started going there 2 years ago. So when she went there, and every time, like if there's a basketball game, there was this, there was that, or if they were lifting weights or doing whatever, they had to if they were going to listen to music, they had to listen to Christian music. So she started listening to some Christian rappers, right? And when I'm at games and this and that, and when I hear it, some of the rappers can rap, but I'm like, the general public is gonna turn it away because when you're out doing whatever, you're just chilling on a block. That's and you drinking and smoking, you don't want to hear that, right?
Right.
Like that's not what you want to hear right now. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, right. So, but if you can find a way to like talk about real life scenarios. If a Christian rapper can do that, find a way to just talk about real life scenarios. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to like say, you got to do this, you got to do that. Just talk about real life scenarios. And then if you want to relate it in some kind of way and weave it in there, that's cool. I think that, it sounds like that's what he's done. I haven't went back and looked and listened to any of his older music, but on here, on some of the stuff, it seems like that's what he's done. So it was all right. It was pretty good. I still don't know why, some of these songs on here 10 years old, but, And then I seen somebody in here say Kanye West, I think it was Marty Nick, said a Kanye West wannabe. I definitely disagree with that because this guy's been doing this stuff for the last 10 years. Kanye West just started doing Christian albums.
I don't hear no Kanye West in this dude. Not whatsoever.
And Kanye can't rap.
Charismatic.
Kanye can't rap. Kanye West can't rap.
Hey, Big Freezy. Hey,
I feel like
underrated statement.
Through the Wire, all those older records, like those first records, I enjoyed those records. Like Jesus Walks and all those records. Like I think he did pretty good in those records. I don't
think it's anything special.
I think he changed. He changed a lot. You feel me? But I think he could rap. I feel like if he put his mind to it, he could rap.
Yeah, I think he's cool. Okay. Again, people make it seem like he's still from Kanye. Do people remember a guy named Slick Rick? Like, dude, when you talking about guys who could storytelling, had charisma on a song, like, dude, Kanye West ain't the first person to, sound. I won't say sound non-thuggish, but mad charismatic and interesting on the beat. Like, come on.
Yeah, nah, he definitely.
Melly Mel. It's like a juggle sometimes.
Yeah, I got to meet Melly Mel one time. He's a tall motherfucker. Let me tell you, he came in looking like Neo from what's it called, The Matrix. Yeah.
Isn't he like he's like ultra brolic, right? Like
I don't remember. I just remember he was tall. He had like the long black.
He's big. Krillian said we should have reviewed this album right here. Maybe. You know, it's not out the question. Not tonight, but it's not out the question to do it another time.
Yeah, let's do Drake.
No,
let's all get our chai teas and our crackers and make sure we come here with our sweaters and our sheets. Let's all have fun.
You killing Drake for nothing, man. Why are you killing Drake for nothing, man?
Fuck out of here.
People ask, did we review Drake's album?
Yeah, I thought that's what he was asking about. He's asking about Drake, right?
Who? Krillians? Oh,
Yeah,
I thought he was saying. I thought Krillians was saying we should have reviewed the album. We should have reviewed D1's album, not Drake's.
Oh, my bad. I'm looking in the chat. Someone said we should. I thought you. My bad. So I just did that whole.
Marquise asked if Marquise asked, did we review Drake? He said, did y'all review Drake? Nah, I'm not looking forward to reviewing that album. I don't want to review that. I heard some of it. I was like,
yeah, I heard it's trash.
Oh, thank you, Sam. Oh, thank you. Oof.
Because I thought about it when I seen it dropped. I was like, well, maybe we do this and that, and I was like, I don't want to sit through listen to a Drake album. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
What's it called? Electric Slide? What is this song? The Drake Slide?
2C Slide or something like that.
You put a right foot up,
Trashy,
one foot back.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Hey,
man.
Sam, can I ask you a question, man?
Yes, sir.
Hey, so I was at work. My man told me Run DMC was whack.
Well, you said Big Daddy Kane is whack, so 1 for 1. I mean, let's.
Hold on. Who said
Big
Run
Daddy
DMC?
Kane didn't start off whack.
Who said Run DMC
Big
is
Daddy
whack?
Kane didn't. One of my homeboys at work told me Run DMC was whack, and then he was like, "Before you say something, go back and listen to it." And then I listened to him, and I was like, "Yo,
Run DMC's not whack."
You was like, yo, what? You thought they was whack?
I think they might be overrated."
Really? Come on, Freezy. You can't do that to me, man.
30-hour discussion.
No. I ain't trying to start a 3-hour discussion. I'm just, what did they do that was so much better than everybody aside from production? Exactly.
Like as far as what? Like as far as what? What do you mean? What did they do? As far as what?
So what did Run DMC do to set a trend in a music booth, like in a studio? What did they do to set a trend?
I'm not saying they started, but didn't they specialize in back and forths?
Doo-wop?
Yes.
No.
Back and forths?
No, man. People was doing doo-wops before that.
I don't think they were doing it to that level in success.
Who was doing doo-wops like Run DMC before Run DMC?
Yeah, I don't remember. That's not an era, but if you could name another group, I've never heard.
It's hard to say because before that, there wasn't really 2-man groups. Usually it was like 4 dudes going back and forth. But then Run DMC came out and it's just 2 dudes doing
completing each other's sentences and stuff.
Right. Like write one rhyme and then they say the rhyme together.
I don't know. I think that Run DMC is like that was one of the reasons why they were so great. And also,
like,
they were one of the first people to really, I think, make whatever fashions they were wearing like actual brands hot. Think about who else is rapping about brands like that. Like, I mean, you made this whole song called My Adidas. You know what I mean? So you brought fashion. I don't say they brought fashion. Obviously, there are people who were fashionable back then, but they made it cool. And then everybody's trying to get the Adidas leather jacket and the hat. I mean, that's monumental, man. Like, and they were one of the first to really push that forward.
Them Run DMC Adidas shirts were crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Them joints was crazy.
The merch was dope, and they dressed like dudes on the street. Now I give them that. But
they made that hot to talk about though. Like,
and they were really kind of that first hip hop group that got away from all the crazy sunglasses and like wild costumes and all that, man.
and eye patches and
Yeah,
man.
like they got they got away from all of that, and it was like Guillermo said, they just took street dress, street style, and brought it to the mainstream, and they kind of broke down doors for hip hop music, especially when they had that Walk This Way remix. You know what I mean?
But even deeper, Sam, look at Rockbox. Like in terms of bringing in the rock sound into rap, I don't know Rick Rubin was a big part of it, but I'm not saying other rappers didn't do it. But Rockbox is one of the only songs where it's like I honestly forget that a rock beat is really playing because I think that beat is so hard. Like
y'all saying, I get what you're saying, but when you say but in the music booth, like what the dude said, it's McDaniel's, not McDonald's. The rhymes are ours and the burgers are Ronald's.
I mean, it's not but again, Big Tree, you're not taking yourself and putting yourself back then. You're literally you had years of other top rappers.
Yes.
Now you're kind of judging it off of maybe back then it was extremely simple. I don't think they're the most lyrical group. I mean, if you could Run DMC beat EPMD in terms of lyricism, hell no. But to take their accomplishments and try to say, bring it to now. I mean, a lot of guys that were groundbreaking back then, and then now we look at them as corny, or like what they were doing is kind of corny, but what they were doing were kind of watershed moments, changed the whole paradigm, and we've grown from that.
Right now,
if we didn't have Run DMC, do you think that rap will be the same way where it is now? It may have had to. Things may have had to come a little bit later, and things may have come. Progress may have been slower, but so if they push it along faster, I give them credit, man. I mean, a lot of these old school rappers, you listen to rhymes, come on, freaking, what's this guy's name? Curtis Blow. Like, if you listen to freaking like Houdini, it's corny as hell. But 5 minutes of 5 minutes of death or whatever it's called?
Man, hold on, dog. Did you say Houdini was corny? Are you serious?
Yeah, come on. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the beginning of One Love. That beat is so hard, but I mean, they were doing that dance, the One Love dance to the dude.
Right, and the freaks come out at night. Right, that was the joint.
Yeah, it was corny, but was it 5 minutes of death or whatever it's called?
I mean, I was rocking that Freaks Come Out at Night, man.
I like that song.
I was rocking Freaks Come Out at Night.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right, but when you look at it as a whole, a lot of people call Houdini corny because they were making love songs and all that stuff. So this is what we do with rap, and this is why rap suffers, right? What we do to our old school artists is that we're the only art form that, regardless of how guys are seen or seen now or whatever, we throw and discard our artists and say, oh, what they did back then may have been corny. I don't hear, the Beatles to me, that's one of the most corniest groups of all time. But I don't hear people put them down. I'm not saying you put them down, but I don't hear the people like.
I mean, most of the music back then was kind of corny, to be honest.
The Beatles, and to me, I think the Temptations are the best than them. So I think we just gotta look at it in context.
I mean, the Temptations, if you think about it in retrospect, was kind of corny too. You got to start so bright.
Come on, man.
But it's still my shit.
That was
Since I Lost My Baby is one of the deepest songs I've ever heard. That's one of the hard, and it's simple as hell. So they did the corny doo-wop stuff, all that crap, but bro, their accomplishments for back then, they built what we listen to today. And let's be honest, what do we have to thank them with? A bunch of mumble rap and lean and drooling music. So let's not.
But listen. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to diminish what they accomplished. My point is, dude brought up a good talking point. He was like,
they're overrated. Okay, so
I think they may be overrated compared to their contemporaries.
Compare them to who was out back then.
Compared to who? Hold up. Compared to who, Big Freezy?
To their contemporaries, like the people that were coming out back then. Like
okay, so who? So who? Like which groups came out could compare to Run DMC and were better than Run DMC?
That's a good question. I would say first off the bat would be Houdini. I would say them first because of longevity. I think they put out albums around the same time, like the same timeline. And if you go by their albums and the songs and things, man, I'm not gonna say Run DMC
I'm gonna go
was
back.
whack.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and really break down and listen. I mean, I'm a big Run DMC fan, so I'm gonna have some bias there. I like Houdini as well, though. right? So I'm gonna go back and really listen to it, you know, and see. But hey, guys, I gotta get up out of here. It's 2:16. You know, go check my IG and see if Mr. Cheeks, you know, see if Mr. Cheeks got mad at me or something like that, unfollow me or something. You know what I mean? See what happens. But anyway, I'm gonna take us out with the jam of the week.
Gonna play at Mr. Freeze song. The Big Cheeks, Mr. Cheeks song.
Big Cheeks? Hey, yo.
Big Cheeks pause.
We're gonna go with the jam of the week.
Let me talk to you.
Oh Lord, yeah. Come on.
I know it's a little bit.
It's the jam of the week, ladies and gentlemen. If you ain't heard this yet, you late.
Keep your head up.
You late.
It's gonna be alright. Sometimes in life, we're gonna go through a storm. Let me tell you about the storm. Sometimes in a storm, it's gonna cause you to get low.
This is the best song I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, real low. When you come out, you stand tall, cause you got the victory. Go ahead, stand back.
Michael Jackson got nothing on this guy, bro. This dude is legend.
You got the victory. Got the victory. Yeah, you got the victory. I know it took a journey to get here. Let me tell
My
you
man
something.
Marquise, be peaceful, man. Make sure you come back for the next show.
It took me 13 years. Had some lonely nights. I was by myself. And we in the
Big Freezy look like he's having something deep.
But guess what?
Drowsy face with
You got the victory.
like, yo.
Come on,
I've listened to this bullshit all my life, man.
Stand back, hands, stand, hands, forward, catch, boy, you got the victory. Hands, got the victory.
All right, y'all.
I let my daughter hear this song.
Now, we done went over
All right, man.
all the essentials to get out this store. Now you gotta look, you gotta go to a mirror. You gotta look in that mirror. And you gotta tell yourself, I know they counted me out. I know they said I wasn't gonna make it. I know they tarnished my image. Talk bad on my name. Lied on me. But you gotta tell yourself, you got the victory. On 3, 1, 2.
Girl, you took me by surprise. Something about you just divine. You got that thing that I like. Yeah, you got that thing that I like. Something about you just divine. Girl, you took me by surprise. You got that thing that I like. Yeah, you got that thing that I like.
Hey, I told her like, there can never be enough songs written about you, what you do, no kidding. The way you look, the way you move. Shit, everything about you smooth. You deserve to be living where it's so insane. And just living, not worry about money. I'm put it in, come enjoy life with me. Try to not raise a fan, you get me? Ain't stop thinking like it's just the last running. Surprise, I ain't seen you coming, but we here now. Feelings are wrong. Let's get away, you and me be alone. Let's step in harmony. You're that song that I can listen to all night long. Step in harmony. You're that song that I can listen to all night long.
Girl, you took me by surprise. Something about you just divine. You got that thing that I like. Yeah, you
you just a vibe. Girl, you took me by surprise. And you got that thing that I like. Yeah, you got that thing that I like. Since I was young, got my eye on you. Ain't too many things that I won't do for you. You got a swag with a vibe on you. Got my eye on the prize, I got my eye on you. Let me drip you with designer, baby. We can lay and chill somewhere, recliner, baby. When the time shine, we in Bahamas, baby. You can take your time, I take my time, baby. Girl, you took me by surprise. Something about you just a vibe. And you got that thing that I like. And you got that thing that I like. Something about you just a vibe. Girl, you took me by surprise. And you got that thing that I like. Yeah, you got that thing that I like.
She got the thing that I like. The way she whine on me like she ride a motorbike. Hands on her, about to get the motor right. She got low miles, so I know the motor type. I touch the deep, then she start to feel it. She said, let's lock the Jeep, then I start to kill it. Thinking to myself like you caught me by surprise. Then she looked me in the eyes like I don't usually